check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. If anyone in the chat can hear me, just push 1. All right, got a confirmation from Doug. Thanks for the confirmation. Welcome back to the Black Brain Trust. This is episode 406, Black Fitness Talk. Please hit the like button as you come in, share the video if possible, hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust, including those posted on the community tab. We just recently posted something on the community tab. We post things weekly, so make sure you check that out. If you want to engage in discussion, we'll drop a link in the chat so you can get on the panel. All right, sets, reps, and frequency. So some people have asked why, some of the sets and stuff, some of the workouts of the day, WODs that I post on the community tab, why do I post, the sets and reps, and how do you go about measuring all of this, right? So 3 sets are the most optimal of how many sets in a per routine that you should do, right? You should be getting at least 36 to 40 reps out of a routine per muscle group. And 3 by 10 will give you 30, or 3 by 12 will give you 30, will give you 36. And so that's how you hit that 36 threshold, or that golden number. And so that's why the reps are really, the sets reps are usually set out like that. So 3 sets is usually optimal. 5 sets are like the most that most research, clinical research has found to be the maximum set that your body or that muscle group should be taxed on in terms of frequency and use. You don't want to go 10 sets. I've been seeing these type of things on different different bro splits that you might hear or that you might read about. People doing 8 and 10 sets per muscle group. That's just, to me, that's not. I think you lose, and this is just my personal opinion, I think you lose a lot out of your training when you focus on having 8 to 10 sets on let's say on biceps. And that to me, if you exhaust your muscle group that much, then there's no way that's going to be ever beneficial. The same routine for 10 sets or 8 sets, that doesn't make any sense. And so 3 sets become optimal, and that's why I post what I post. Yeah. And so there should be some, and it's also dependent on your break period, right? Break period should be bare minimum 30 seconds. 30 seconds is usually the time that you use to transition in a superset. So if you're going from one weight to another, like for example, let me pull it up for you guys. Let me pull it up. All right, let me share my screen real quick. Had to pull this up. And so let me just show you guys this. Tricep push down 5 sets at 15 reps. Because this is not a superset, I don't need to shorten the sets, right? So I can go 5 for 15. 15 is like the most, the sort of high point for volume when it comes to reps. Anywhere between 12 to 15 is usually that peak mark that you're trying to hit. I know I have some people that go 20 to 25. I think you're forcing it at that point, but that's just me. So if I'm isolating one routine, then I'm going to hit that 5 sets by 15 reps because I know that volume is going to be sufficient as jumping out of the gate, right? I'm warmed up, plus I'm breaking down those fibers. Right, and then I'm going into skull crusher, so I'm making a transition into that same muscle group, but I'm also hitting it from a different angle. So I'm hitting the longer head versus the shorter head of that tricep. And then I'm going into a tricep dip immediately after. And again, going into overhead triceps, so I'm hitting a different angle on that tricep again, and then the tricep kickback as a finisher. And this whole entire thing, I think, was about maybe 12 to 15 minutes at best. And then on the bicep curls, another 15 minutes on these as well. So seated cable curl. And I'm also using straps on my arm as well. So using the straps to actually increase the tension on the blood flow. And then the dumbbell alternating hammer curl. Again, just supersetting that, same 3 sets for 15. Moderate rate, not overloading the weight. I usually keep it around 25 to 30 pounds per dumbbell. And so the sets and reps, that's why I post it like that. I'm making quick transition from each routine so that I'm not stuck. I'm not wasting too much time. I know I see some guys, they're too busy texting and stuff like that. So 2 minutes, 3 minutes go by. That's a long time to be going in between routines. So. You got incline bench today, barbell press, 5 by 5 at 80%. I'm not a huge person, so I think that for me, this was a lot for me. Because I'm supersetting it again with an inverted decline push-up. And then I'm going back again immediately after. I'm switching positions and I'm going into an incline push-up. So I'm going upwards instead of downwards, right? So I'm hitting, the lower pecs as well as the upper pecs and the center of it. And then I'm done. I'm not going to try to kill myself. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's enough volume anyways, 25 reps, plus the push-ups in superset adds to it. So I'm hitting that 40 to 45 reps. Post-workout meal is there. All right. Yeah. Stop sharing, and then let me see who's trying to get on the panel. Corey asks, do you ever use drop set or pyramid routines? Yep. Um, Pyramids actually, drop that link again. Pyramids are actually really good, depending on what phase you're trying to get into. If you're just trying to build maximum strength, then yeah, that pyramid scheme actually worked really well. For me, at the time, I was training for the Spartans, so I wasn't really training um, pyramids as much as I typically would in the off season. So I do think that there's a place for pyramid routines. Pyramid routines are really good for building that muscle group really fast because you're kind of overloading the muscles with volume and then um, and weight. So plus you know your tolerance level at that point. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on, Doug? Uh, Corey, Corey the Black Vegan, what's going on? Mike Rizzy, what's going on? Cocaine Kells, good afternoon to you. Our business too, what's going on? Underrated mind, what's going on? Reigning woman, good afternoon to you as well. Let me see, what was this question right here? Can calisthenics be beneficial if you don't have access to the gym? Yeah. The thing about calisthenics is that you have to do it way more frequently than you would if you had access to a gym. With gyms, you can kind of, do a 3-4 day split, but with calisthenics, you got to hit that thing every single day. This is just my experience in order to be really adept at it. Kenny Burgess, what's going on? Who works the day after Christmas, Julian? What's going on, man? Eugene Black, what's going on? Yeah, Cocaine Kells is actually right in her assessments of the FYIs. She's actually pretty much on the money. Uh, do you eat before a workout, pre-workout meal? I personally don't. I have found that either I feel like I'm gonna vomit or I'm a little bit more queasy. Stomach doesn't feel all that right, so I don't do that. May work different for some other people, but I just don't put solid in my belly before a workout. Unless it's something like peanuts or something like that. Maybe I might be able to get away with like 35 to 40 grams of peanuts, but that's the extent. An hour before a workout, not 15 minutes before. That's silly. Yeah, again, Cocaine Kells is right on the money again with her most recent comment. Squats, push-ups, lunges, crutches, dips, jumping jacks, broad jumps, handstands, and all calisthenics. Well, Nugent Black says I use a lot of pre-workout supplements, and I'm going to cut down on it and stick to coffee. I would argue that coffee is just addictive too. It can be possibly bad, especially if it's cheap coffee. You always want some real organic, authentic coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker myself, so I can't really speak on what brands and flavors you should buy. But my thing about coffee is that it's not that much different than workout supplements. And so because there's an addiction factor to it too. So now the frequency, right? So let's talk about frequency. Sundays, I always train shoulders and back. Reason being is because I don't want to go to work the next day. Well, I don't want to start my day off going to work with shoulders and back, because then I'm a little bit more active than I should be. I need time to rest. So Sundays are usually the most optimal day for volumetric training on shoulders and back. And so I do that on a Sunday. Monday, I'm going to alternate to lower body weight or lower body concentration, and then focus on legs. And so the frequency means that for me in this context is that Sunday I did back and shoulders. That means I'm leaving a 72-hour gap in between that time, last time of working, to the next time. So Sunday, back and shoulders, but then Wednesday, I'm hitting back and shoulders again. So I have that Monday, Tuesday off period of shoulder and back work at that point. Now, what should be the frequency of these groups, right? These are targeted groups. Most scientific research, clinical research has shown that 3 is like the max that you should be doing on a muscle group per week, and 1 to 2 is usually 2 is like the most optimal. So that's why the frequency for me, when Sunday and Wednesday actually works out well, because there's a gap in between that period. Now Monday I gotta hit legs, so that's a lower body, and then I'm gonna hit Tuesday. I'm gonna hit arms and chest, and so that period I'm not touching back and shoulders at all. I'm leaving the delts alone for the most part. And so then Monday, legs, and I won't hit legs again until Thursday. So I have that Tuesday, Wednesday period off, and then Thursday I'm picking it back up again. And then Tuesday is arms and chest, but then I won't hit that arms and chest again until maybe Saturday at best. And that one day off is usually Friday for me. So I never work on Friday. That's always been my motto for a few years now. They're having a conversation in the chat. Cocaine Kel says, guys, don't forget about your leg workouts. Yeah, I think leg volume, I think you can hit that 3 times a week rather than just 2, depending on what you're trying to target. Nicholas Parkinson asks, Mike, is soreness and good indication for hypertrophy? I do not think so. I think if you foam roll enough and you do your normal stretches enough, you should not have any real soreness. if you're really sore, then I think what happens here is you're not properly prepping and you're not doing any real follow up. I think that usually happens, or you're performing a routine incorrectly. Let me kind of losing this here. Yeah, cocaine kills is right again. Train your legs muscles at least twice per week, but no more than 4 times weekly on non-consecutive days. Yep, she's right about that. I think 4 times is usually something that you want to do if you're prepping for something. If you're prepping for IFBB or something like that, or you're trying to prep for an event, I think you can get away with that. In off season, I think twice per week is actually pretty normal. Trey Waters says, I'm 5'10", 125 pounds, 27. What exercise should I do and what to do to gain muscle and weight? My metabolism is fast. You got to eat more frequently, and the meals have to be actually sufficient proportions. Eating a big plate of food is not going to actually do anything for you other than put on more fat. So um, the meals have to be of substance. And so you have to increase your caloric intake, and the amount of consumption should be around 5 to 6 meals per day. Not big, uh, not big plates of food, but actually sufficient things like, for example, before you go to sleep, I would not eat a heavy plate of food because that's not going to be able to, your body won't be able to digest it. So why not eat something more official like nuts and stuff like that, nuts and fruit. Never eat, 15, 20 minutes before bed or anything like that. You need at least an hour for your body to break it down. And so 125 pounds, you gotta get your weight up, man, by eating more. Stay away from the supplements. I would not use those supplements. I would just increase the frequency of meal per day. So if you're only eating 2 or 3 times a day, you need to increase that to about 5 or 6. And if you're asking about gaining muscle, so you want to follow the pyramid scheme that Cocaine Kells talked about earlier. What about cardio and abs, Mike from Trav? Cardio, um, I do hit, so I do high intensity if time is permitted. So I got the row machine. If you go through the workouts of the day, the WODs and the community tab, then what you'll see is um, battle ropes, med balls, slams, um, box jumps, air assault bikes, row machine, um, and maybe a mile of running, high intensity, or even hit the stairs. I think you get a lot more burn by hitting the stairs than any of the ones I just previously mentioned. So that's the cardio for me. Abs are made in the kitchen, man. You can't sit, you can't perform sit-ups and think that you're going to get ripped. It's all about what you're putting in your belly. I think some of these guys are still eating crappy food and can't understand why their abs are not showing. It's not that the abs aren't there; they just aren't showing because of what you're putting in your belly. Mike, what is your take on implementing parkour? I think he means park workout and free running. think that's good. I think if you can tolerate, if your body can tolerate it, go for it. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think everyone's body is going to be different, so you have to do what your body's able to tolerate. Let's see who's trying to get on. Hmm. Nicholas Parkinson says, how do I ensure hypertrophy progressive overload? Usually hit hypertrophy by 8 to 10 reps. Um, Overload would be somewhere around 12 to 15 at a substantial percentage of your 1 rep max of your body weight. So if you're 125 pounds, you should be, 80% would be something like 80 pounds, 80 to 90 pounds. Trey Waters. Yeah, Julian's always hungry, man. Whether it's knowledge or just some food in his belly, man, he's always hungry. Um, yeah, Isaiah Smith says gel exercises makes you super functional. Yeah, because those are functional workouts. That's what a functional workout is a gel workout. But you'll notice that a lot of these guys who do come out of jail, they're swole, but they're not lean. They're never lean. They're always just swole. They just have that, wide muscular look, but it's never really um they're never lean. And so because they lack the cardio and plus their dietary is pretty much out of whack because the food is all processed anyways. Let's see. Oh, Sister George is here. Good afternoon, Sister George. Yeah, Cocaine Kells is right again. Eggs and avocado is good to eat before bed. It will allow you to build muscle overnight. Yep. They don't think I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Mutant Black is hitting it again. I noticed that the biggest buff weightlifters are not the most functional and agile. In fact, a beginner in Brazilian jiu-jitsu can choke some of those dudes out. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that. There's some videos on YouTube of some of these swole guys getting taken down. They're just big for nothing. When I was doing the Spartan, there was a lot of swole guys out there, but they had no stamina. They had no stamina. It was the 5K inside the Spartan, and by the end of the 1 to 1.5K, they were pretty much done. They were absolutely done. They were toast. They finished it, but they finished it at the end. So yeah, hypertrophy is that threshold that when you hit that breaking down of the fibers. So 8 is usually the minimum, but then 10 to 12 is usually the optimal. 15 is when you hit that peak. But you don't always have to hit 15 at maximum strength. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. to do that. So you would never do 15 on the bench. It just doesn't make any sense because uh, you're trying to load up a sufficient amount of weight to hit that that peak of breaking down some of the fibers and whatnot, right? So you don't need 15 reps. 5 to 8 reps is actually pretty sufficient if you're also supersetting that as well. I know some people superset it with some chest flies as they're within their routine. So that's why you don't need to hit a high rep range in terms of bench. I've seen guys, I think there's videos of Kevin Durant, as skinny as he is, he had 315 on the bar and hit that with no problem because he had that explosive strength. He was able to shove that thing right off of his chest pretty easily for 2 or 3 reps and then be done with it. Doing that 2 or 3, for 2 or 3 sets is actually more beneficial than actually hitting 15 reps, for one set. That doesn't, to me, that's not the business. Especially if the reps become sloppy at the end. The first 8 to 10 was good, but then your last 12 to 15, that thing was sloppy. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense. It wasn't all that beneficial. Yeah, let me see if I can find the video of Kevin Durant hitting 315. Let me share my video. I'll share the screen real quick. Here it is right here. It says from 3 years ago, Kevin Durant bench press 315 pounds. I never bench without gloves, just as an FYI. That's just me. I don't like blisters. Yeah. So that's Kevin Durant. Yeah, Julian, a lot of people look at Kevin Durant and be like, oh man, Kevin Durant's so skinny. That's why you can't really judge people. You can't really judge a person's size, man. Kevin Durant is very long and stringy, but he has that explosive strength. He can get that 315 up. Even if it's just for 1 rep, he got it up clean. So that's why I don't really judge people like that. I don't pass that sort of judgment on people. Oh, let me show my gloves. Share my gloves. All right, let me I have a few sets of gloves, man. Let me see. Yeah, I have a few sets. Let me show you the ones that I use here. Um, these are not exactly the same thing, but at least not the same color. Um, yeah, so these are the ones I use here for all intents and purposes. I use these because it allows my hands not to sweat. Yeah, this is actually the ones I do use here. Um, my palms don't sweat as much if I had full cover gloves, and the palms are so well covered, I don't get the blisters that other people seem to get, and my hands chafe a lot, so I don't have to worry about that too much because they will sweat after the first 2 or 3 sets. So these are basically CrossFit gloves. Um, I'll drop these in the chat. I actually just washed these last night too. I usually wash my gloves once a week. Too much bacteria collected in them. You're touching different sorts of weights and different objects, and the sweat in there. There eventually be a catastrophe, a petri dish for bacteria. Oh man, doesn't allow you to share. Let me see. Hmm. Okay. What's this thing doing? All right, there's the link right there. Let me go back up because I think I missed a few things. What you need to create a home gym for someone who is on shoestring budget. You want to look on Craigslist. You want to look on Craigslist. There's a lot of stuff on Craigslist that you can get for dirt cheap. Let me see if I can pull up Craigslist real quick. Share my screen real quick. Yeah, so there's a lot of small equipment that you can get. This Bowflex right here, although they're selling it for $950, in Dick's, I saw this for $2,000 the other day. So I don't know how old this one is, but it looks like this guy is selling all of his equipment. Yeah, look, this guy's selling all of his equipment for $950. I personally would not buy it, but this is an example of what people do on Craigslist when they're trying to get out. A lot of military guys who are either just now being shipped off or going back on tour, you'll find that they sell a lot of stuff. before they go on the next tour, before they deploy again. I mean, look at this one right here. This is something you start off with, and this is going to last a long time. If you have the room to fit it, this is probably going to fit in your basement. I tried one of these before, but my ceiling is actually 2 inches too low, so I would have to cut a hole through the ceiling. I'm not going to do that. Not just to fit this equipment in it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So there's alternatives that I chose, but this is actually a very good piece of equipment to get. Very good. Especially if you're just starting out, you can hit a whole lot out of all of this, probably for the next year and a half. And you can swap out the weights too. If you look online, you can swap out those weights for heavier weights. But yeah, this person's asking $425 for it. That's actually not a bad deal. You got to come with your own truck though. Go down to U-Haul, rent a truck for an hour, and just pick it up right away and just take off with it. Yeah, that's actually a good deal. So yeah, if you're asking, about a budget, I think $500 is sufficient. You shouldn't really go over 500. That one home gym is actually pretty good. Let me show you the one that I do have at home. All right. Yeah, I have this one right here. It does have all the this is stupid. I don't know why this is doing this. Okay. I got mine's. It says 275 here, but I paid like 190 for mine's altogether with shipping and handling. Let me expand this out. And so you can see the coupons are here. So if you spend over, if you spend close to 500, then they take $75 off. I would not say that this is the best bench, but it's the most balanced one I can find for the price. All the other ones are really, really expensive for what they were asking for. I got mine's brand new, Christian. I hadn't seen any used ones before. I mean, for what the price they were asking, I couldn't argue with it. And it was free shipping. Let's see if somebody's trying to get in there. So that's what you would actually get for a home gym. If I had to do it all over again, I would probably do that hoist that you saw before. Yeah, if I had to do it all over again, I would probably do the cage system. share that screen real quick. Yeah, so I would have probably bought this right here. This does have the pulleys so that you can pull down, and then there's weight in the back that you're gonna strap weight to it. So that's what those little Olympic pegs are there for. And it's a Smith machine as well, so you actually get the Smith workout out of it. Pull-ups and the dips are there too, right here. You can see the dips right here. And it also has the pulleys at the bottom as well, so you can actually get curls out of it. So you have cable curls that come out of it as well. And the bench is included. You can see the pulley straps are here too. And at the back of it, it has the spot for adding unused weights and stuff like that. And there's actually a let me see. Yeah, the bench actually declines so that you can actually do what do you call it? Sit-ups if you wanted to, or a decline bench press. And so, I mean, it says $11.99 here, but it looks like it'll be $900 if you use the coupon and you get free shipping with it. So you're getting it for under a G, and it's brand new. I saw a video on YouTube. Someone said that it took them 4 hours to build it by themselves. I don't think you can build it by yourself. In my experience, I think you need an additional set of hands to hold things up and screw things in. So let me drop this in the chat. Sun is right. Hi, what's going on, man? Yeah, Christian said he got a rack for 200. I'm not sure what kind of rack he got though. You ever train with a sandbag, Mike? Yep, I have a sandbag. I have a 80 pound sandbag. My only problem with sandbags, if you don't buy the right one, then what happens here is you get a lot of sand everywhere. It's a pain in the balls. So they say it has a maximum tolerance level of like 80 pounds or 100 pounds or something like that, but that's never true. What I found is that once you load up the correct amount of sand, then the bag doesn't zip up correctly. So there's a lot of false advertising in some of these bags and what their tolerance level is. What I have found in order to prevent the sand from leaking everywhere, once you fill up the individual sand pouches, the bags itself, take a trash bag or a comparable bag and tie it up and seal it. And that way the sand doesn't leak out. And so you stick the bag back into the sandbag into the duffel itself, and then you zip it up. And that way you prevent sand from being tossed around, because it will come out. It's just a matter of if, not when. And so to prevent the sand from falling all over the place, or even getting in your eyes when you do a snatch, because I've had that happen to me. Sand drop out of the bag, out of the seam of the zipper into my face. But yeah, training with a sandbag is actually going to be really beneficial, especially if you do things like stair training, right? If you get on the stairs and throw a bag over your back or over your shoulder, that's going to be really beneficial when you go into training for the Spartan, because they're going to get you to pick up 50, 60 pound bags. Yep, you can go down to Home Depot and get a $10 bag of sand from there. It comes in the bag. You just gotta, what I do is I put it in one of those 5 pound buckets, and then get a what do you call it? A funnel, and and one of those beach shovels, like what they use to build sandcastles. You take one of those and put the sand into the funnel itself so that it goes down correctly, so that you're not spilling any sand all over the place. Yeah, see, Isaiah Smith likes that capoeira. Um, so capoeira is actually the fighting style that the Haitians used, or the African slaves used to defeat the French in Haiti in 1804. They used capoeira, and the Europeans didn't know how to defend themselves against that, and they got their asses whooped a lot. And some of them, I'm pretty sure a lot of them died. Probably got beat to death. Sort of MMA style. Yeah, my ceiling stop at 89 inches, and most of those power racks, what do you call it, 93, 94 inches. I just don't have the space for that. So let me check the. Oh, Trav says, my fitness goals are to get the cut boxer look and get the endurance up to 10-mile runs and build explosive strength. I don't know how well that actually works. I know there's some guys like Mike Rashid who can do things like that, but he's like the only guy I've ever seen do that. I follow Nate Bauer on YouTube. I think Nate is one of the dopest dudes on YouTube for this. He's a brother. Let me show his channel right here. Yeah, this is him right here, Nate Bauer Fitness. He does a lot of videos on training and whatnot, for boxing, for welterweight, middleweight boxing. And I love his channel, man. I think he's dope. Heavy bags and pads and things like that. I think Nate is pretty dope. Let me drop his link in the chat, because I think Nate, I mean, and he talks to you too, right? He'll do a live stream or he'll do a recorded video. And if you have questions, man, he'll answer it, man. I think he's a really, really dope dude. Let me drop his link in the chat. I've been following him for a couple of years now. I just don't actually actively promote him as I probably should. Nicholas Parkinson says, I'm 21, 6'2", skinny build, trying to get my weight up, but having a hard time with this gym stuff. Been at it since March. Went from struggling 20 pounds to benching my body weight 190. It depends on what your goals are, Nicholas. I think people's goals are going to be different. Some guys want to walk around looking jacked, and it's like if you're going from skinny to that, that's a stretch. That's going to be 2, 3, 4 years at best. I don't think you're going to do that overnight, regardless of what these transformation videos show. One time they was skinny like a toothpick, and then all of a sudden now they're walking around, like they're Julius Edelman or one of these guys from the Patriots. It's not realistic. Gronkowski or something like that. This is not realistic. Those guys have been lifting since high school, so for them it was not that big of a deal. But if you just started in March, increasing your bench, I think that's good and all, but you also have to be able to be functional too. If you're just going for the look, the athletic look, I guess that's doable. But I after doing that Spartan last month, that has taught me a lot about what I see guys doing, in the gym. Yeah, you got the tight shirt on and you look good, but when it's time to actually hit the track and hit that field, um, you're a no call, no show, man. So at least for those guys. Hey, Dr. Phoenix, what's going on, man? Yeah, it depends on your age too. If you're, some of these other guys on YouTube, like Larry Wheeler and those guys are young. They're below 30. So for them, it's not their body's still developing. So they're moving and building a lot of weight at a fairly young age. If you've already reached past 30, 35, man, that's it's gonna take a lot longer because your body has already reached its best sold by date. Um, Lord Sky 9 says, I'm striving for something sustainable. Muscle mass is hard to keep without genetics or steroids. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. You look at jujitsu, a lot of those guys aren't really huge, man. They're really agile. I think I think the ability to sustain muscle is more about frequency than anything else. How frequent are you hitting those groups? I think if you're seeing muscle loss, there could be some other issues there. I'm not a medical professional. Maybe Dr. Phoenix can really speak more to that. But there may be some deficiencies happening there based on your nutrition more than anything else. I think if you're just starting out, 3 times a week is actually pretty sufficient. Lloyd Sky says, you think you can look like Simeon Panda without steroids? I'm not saying that you can and you can't. You have to keep in mind, Simeon Panda is he's fairly lean, so that's what you're looking at. I think when some people look at like guys like Simeon Panda or Mac Truck or Mike Rashid, um, people have to keep in mind they have very low body fat. Their body fat is anywhere between 5 to 8%, maybe 10% at best. And so you're seeing a lot of muscle definition because there's very little very little fat on their frame. So yeah, Simeon Panda, even if Simeon Panda, whether he's on steroids or not, and I don't think he is, I don't know if he is, and I don't really care if he is. Even if he just did take steroids, it's not going to make him look the way that he is. It's going to actually help him develop more. But it's not like, oh, he took a shot or an injection and then all of a sudden he just started looking ripped. No, that's not the case. That takes a lot more. That takes a lot more frequency in workouts. I was watching one Simeon and Mike Machine, those guys, they were working out twice a day. If you look at Michael B. Jordan's routine for Black Panther, he was working out twice a day. Upper body in the morning, lower body at night, for 7 days a week. No days off. So that's why he can walk around looking like that in Black Panther. You know, I mean, I have a job, man. I have a career. I can't do something like that. I just don't have the money, and I don't have a personal trainer like that. To do what he's doing, man, that took a lot of effort. Maybe he did take steroids. If you look at Will Smith's, Cocaine Kells is backstage. If you look at Will Smith's workout for I Am Legend and not Suicide Squad. Was it Suicide Squad? What was the DC movie that he did? When he was Deadeye. Yeah, it was a DC movie. I think it's gotta be Suicide Squad he did. Yeah, that was Suicide Squad. His workout for that movie was pretty intense. So I don't want to say, you know, if you just take steroids, you can you look like Simeon Panda. I don't know about that, man. Judging by what he said in the movie, I would say that or what he said for training in that movie, man, it sounds like that was pretty legit. Hey, Kels, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
All right, put some volume on your mic if you can. I've heard about Sun is hot raw. Says after the age of 30, for men, you start to lose 1% of your testosterone a year. That's a medical fact. So it's hard to gain size past the age of 30. I've heard about guys using, this was recently, last couple months ago. I've heard about guys using, what's the, Viagra. Viagra pre-workout as a part of their pre-workout. So some people have said that it works. Some people have said it's not. I know it might be bro science, and I don't like to spread bro science all that much, but I've done some considerable reading about that on different forums, and they have said that yeah. Use that to increase their testosterone, or not to increase in testosterone, but to increase their blood flow. I think it's a little bit risky, but if it works for them, it works for them.
Hey, how are you? I'm sorry.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing well.
You've been doing a lot of contribution there. Anything you want to verbally speak out?
Not at the moment. This is my thing in terms of talking about working out and eating clean and all of that. So I will definitely add as necessary. I just kind of popped into the live stream again, so I'll just go on mute until I have something to contribute.
Sounds great. All right, let me get back to the chat. Doug says using Viagra before training would be equivalent to using L-arginine. I don't know, Doug. I don't know about that. L-arginine you can buy over the counter, but Viagra is a different it's a different sort of animal. Especially depending on the dosage. Maybe at the lowest dosage, you might be able to get the equivalent of arginine, but I don't know if they are one for one equivalency there. I think the levels might be different, and depending on how what your body weight is and composition and things like that.
Yeah, there's a small amount of research in regards to taking Viagra during a workout. I'm not sure that is, something that I would, take a risk on doing. Not me per se, but men taking such a huge risk. I mean, the side effects alone in terms of lowering the blood pressure is something to actually keep in mind.
That's a good point, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Did you hear the input that I just gave or no?
Yeah, everybody heard you.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. I'm in my car and it's kind of switching between my phone and the speaker. I just would wonder why someone would want to take Viagra during a workout.
It's supposed to give you a pump. It's supposed to give you a pump. There's been some scientific research on this. I heard Mountain Dog, John Meadows, I think. I've heard him talk about that either this year or last year, talked about that, doing that before a competition. So whether or not it works, I don't know. He never really mentioned what the dosage level was. And he's one of the top guys in the industry. He has a YouTube channel talking about this. So I've heard Jeff Nippert even talk about this as well. I don't know if Jeff Nippert has ever taken it, but Jeff Nippert did ask the question, and he did seem to get a response from quite a few people that there has been some anecdotal evidence found that it has been functional, or at least increase some level of efficiency, but they've never really been able to measure whether or not Viagra or Cialis or something like that has been beneficial, at least on a measurable level. But there does seem to be some a placebo effect there. So I'm still doing the research myself. I haven't really seen anything. I have taken well, I'm not going to go into that because I don't want to give out any sort of bad advice, but you know, your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who take Viagra with alongside steroids for their blood vessels, but I mean, I just for a better pump, but you know, it's just different. So to each their own, I guess. Just be careful with in doing that.
Yeah, I think for strength training, I think that might be good, but for high intensity training, I would not advise anybody to do something like that. You increase your heart rate like that at that excuse me, at that level, and you're walking around with your manhood at full attention, man. That could be a recipe for disaster.
Oh, I was waiting on that. I was waiting on that Mike comment, you know. Boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. But don't uh let's see, Son is Rot High and Julian traded shots at each other. They do have Viagra for women though. I'm not sure what the correct medical term is, but they seem to have that as well. I guess it makes it slippery while wet, sort of a deal. I'm not sure if that helps.
Boom, boom.
I can't see where it helps down there.
Well, I'm a Scorpio, so you know, Scorpios don't need that type of help. So maybe someone else can chime in on that.
It might be for women over 50 though, or over 45. I haven't done any research on that. I have seen things posted on it, but I can't imagine that that would actually be beneficial for working out, especially if you got leggings on and you got camel toe. Um, you would have to put a little sign on the floor with the guy in the circle with the cross on it, saying you know, be careful.
We're really going to do this right now, Mike?
I would say so. Nope.
We're really, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's an interesting discussion because people in the chat seem to be going back and forth about it. So it means that people are actually thinking this through. I haven't had any. I haven't taken it before. Even though I can get a prescription for it, I just haven't taken it. It's pretty expensive too. It's $100. For like 4 pills or something like that.
Yeah, I see the pre-ode is in the chat. So shout out to Mr. Fantastic. But no, I mean, I've never looked into Viagra for women. It starts with an A, I think the proper term, but I can't remember the entire word.
It's gonna bug me. Let me look it up. Shout out to Fantastic, man. You're welcome to come on to the panel. Viagra for women. What is the It's a condition known as hyperactive sexual desire disorder. low sex drive.
Someone asked about camel toe because quite naturally you mentioned that, Mike. Um, and, one of the ways that, you can avoid having a camel toe is you can get leggings without a front rise seam. And pick the right pick the right underwear, ladies.
Yeah. The medical term is well, not the medical term, but the prescription is it's called Addy. ADDYI.
Yeah, I knew it started with an A. I just couldn't remember the rest.
And there's another one called Velisi, and that's a shot that you take in your butt.
I think that I don't know if Mr. Fantastic has time, but I mean he's in the gym. He's pretty swole. I think people were asking in the chat how to gain muscle mass. Maybe he can give some input on that if he's not busy doing the BABG thing. Boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. yeah. Yeah. Let me. Julian M says WW's at the gym wear no panties and hog their stairmaster. Interesting.
Well, there's no reason really to actually wear them.
Yeah.
If you have a good solid bottom, because technically, I mean, you can get leggings that are thick in fabric, and then also, they do have coverage on the inside. So really, I mean, there's no reason to wear them, really.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of get in the way.
Let me let Fantastic on. Let me share my screen real quick too. Just real quick so that sun is hot high. Sun is hot raw, sorry. This is a camel toe. And so that's what you get. That's what happens with women when they go to the gym.
Some women, when they go to the gym.
Fantastic. What it do, man?
Yo, what up, bro?
What's popping?
Not much. Y'all talking about working out and whatnot.
Yeah, something like that, man.
And
What's your idea for training? Sets, reps, and frequency. What are you hitting for sets? What are you hitting for reps?
Me, man. Right now, well, I'm actually about to transition over. But for me, my sets and reps is usually I do a warm-up set. And then I go at least 3 to 4 sets, depending. 10 to 12 reps when I'm going heavier. I'm about to start now, cutting down in the middle to the end of January. And then I'm going to be more so, I say 15 to 20 rep range, anywhere from 4 to 5 sets. And I'm going to start incorporating a lot more full body works, things like, clean and jerks, push presses, stuff like that, more so than getting away from the compound lifting as much as, incorporating a lot more full body things. and stuff that also, you know, gets your heart rate up more.
So you're pushing for like a more CrossFit style sort of workout.
Well, I'm not CrossFit. That's just a little too, that's a little too extreme. But once I start cutting down, it's just gonna be more like I say, more so the full body things. More so, I want to go the whole CrossFit route because I'm no CrossFitter whatsoever. But something like that, because you know they do involve a whole lot more like Olympic lifting, a whole lot more of combined workout type shit. So I guess so, hybrid, I guess.
Now, what's your like what was your frequency like? How many times a week will you hit legs? How many times a week would you hit chest?
I'm hitting legs at least twice a week, and I try to deadlift at least once a week. With me, legs mainly is gonna be I do a lot more leg presses than squats. Because I had a back injury last year. I slipped a disc, so for me, squatting is not ideal. I got I've been working hard to get my fucking base back together with my lower back and my glutes and things. People, that's another important thing, man. The best thing they did in my gym, or the gyms they got on base, is they started incorporating the glute extension machines. So a lot of people don't understand just how important a role your glutes play in not just your leg strength, but your overall like body stability, because your glutes are supposed to offset your pretty much like lock down your entire posterior chain. So I found out I had a whole lot of like glute weakness and glutes not firing. So I've been doing that real hard, getting everything back together. Usually, like I said, I do the main compound lifts, deadlifts, and leg presses, but I'll do that glute extension at least 2 to 3 times a week. And then, I do like of course, you got the isolation work with your leg extensions. And another big thing too is your hamstrings, like reverse hamstring extensions or hamstring curls rather.
Okay. You take any like days off with 1 day off, 2 days off?
Yeah, I try to I get at least 1 day off because during the week is usually anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week. Mm-hmm. And on my day off, I try to stretch and roll. If I'm not stretching and rolling, I'll just make that like like a feed-in arm day or something.
Yep. Any post-workout meals that you prep or?
Man, I was on the prep hard, man. I was this whole holidays messed me up, bro. I had everything going, chicken, ground beef, everything ready, the sweet potatoes and all that, man. But after this month, I'm gonna get back on it. I was when I was at my best, man. Keto's like wonderful. I love to eat, bro. If I want for my genetics and me being in the gym, I swear I'd be like 500 pounds. But keto works real well for me, man. So I'm gonna probably hop back on that keto sometime next month.
Yeah. I think a lot of guys underestimate everyone's body is gonna be different, man. We show Kevin Durant as slim as he is, man, as lanky as he is. He threw a 315 like it was nothing. So we can't always judge people and say, Kai Green or Ronnie Coleman, those guys are on juice or they're on roids, something like that. I never like to prejudge anyone and say who's on gear, because you don't know. You have no evidence. You can't just assume. Kevin Durant, slim as he is, he can out bench press me. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, and he couldn't even I don't think he could rep 135 10 times his rookie like in the compound.
Yep. You look at the transition from Giannis Antetokounmpo.
God, bro. Yeah, Giannis, bro. Giannis is the fucking bro. Giannis is the perfect example of like, just like, you know, late blooming / gym dedication. Cause yeah, man, like just seeing that dude's literally a freak for real.
Yeah. He's an improvement, man. He's like the real transformational, and he can't be on steroids because NBA would have found that out.
Yeah, Giannis is not on roids, bro.
Yeah, man. That's why I don't like to prejudge people and say who's on roids, who's on gear, man. I don't get into all the politics of that, man. I think that's treading in some salty areas, man. That's not what I do. So let me share this picture real quick. Kels, can you elaborate on this image here? I think Kels might be gone.
Yeah, somebody swole.
Oh yeah.
Nah, she there.
Can you hear me?
She's still here. Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah. That's Cocaine Kels, for those of you who are interested. I would not want to get into a fair one with her. She's a Scorpio and she's pretty swole. So
Well, I don't know about swole, but my arms are definitely one of my best assets. And that picture is me training for a fitness competition in the figure category. Mm-hmm. And what you see is a lot of effort put into rounding out my biceps and making sure that my form is complete. I'm sorry, making sure that my form is accurate. Mm-hmm. And there were times where I do 2 a days. In fact, I am getting ready for a fitness competition in March. So it basically my workout increases, and very, very, very strict on the meal planning as well.
Mm-hmm. You have a number on your bench?
I'd rather not say.
Can I get your number, shorty?
Yeah, you can get my number. No, I'd rather not say. Let me just say this. What you see right now is I am actually at my weakest point. Mm-hmm. So even though you see the definition and so forth, I am literally I literally probably could only lift like 10 pounds. Mm-hmm. And that's because I was tapering off to prepare for the fitness competition. And the water was actually depleted, and my meal intake was like cut by maybe 60%. So that's not me at my strongest point. I think the other picture is really me at my strongest. I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but yeah.
You did, and I just want to focus on this one first, and then we'll move on to the second one. Yeah, I'm surprised Ty City's not on the panel. He lifts too. I think he might just be lifting those microphones though.
Yeah, I can see that. Boom,
yeah.
Boom.
Ty City lifting condenser mics. Let me move on to the next image. You're 5'10", right?
Yes. Okay. So actually this picture is a good picture of the classes for the fitness competition. So on the far left is what you would call the physique category. And it is equivalent to, I'm sorry, it is more or less, she is using like steroid enhancements and you know, to get bigger than obviously the rest of us. So she has a performance where she, you know, does that little routine and all of that to show the definition in her muscles and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
The second girl is the bikini. So the bikini has a light definition and not so much as the definition of the muscles and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like your really, really lean girls that really just have to maintain in order to actually get into that category.
Mm-hmm.
So the third is actually me, and I am the figure, and it's more of a feminine look. So you have the, you know, you're basically showing the definition in your butt. That has to be real big, and your back has to be defined, and you know, obviously your arms. So pretty much everything that they can see has to show definition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last girl is actually physique. And physique, like I said, it's kind of like the largest class of the women's category.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your muscular type of women. Now, she was not flexing as much, but she is actually a beast. And I work out with her a lot. And she's actually on her way to get her pro card,
Mm-hmm.
the one on the far right.
Yep.
So she has not, here's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the ones on the far end, they're in the same category, one takes steroids, the other one does not. So
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But the one on the far right beat the one on the far left.
Mm-hmm. Let me, because people might, so people don't get confused. You're speaking of this person, the shortest one here is on your right, or the one on the red are you referring to on the right of the picture?
Okay, so the one in the black
Yes.
on the far left is my left. I don't know if it's everybody's left, but it
Yeah,
should
looking
be.
at the screen left.
Yep.
Yeah. So on the far left, she is in the physique category. That is the biggest of the women's category. So it's the more muscular looking women. Now, again, she was competing against the one in the red,
Mm-hmm.
which is on the opposite end.
Mm-hmm.
And the one in the black takes the steroids, right? But the one on the opposite end, which is in the red, I believe, is she does not.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was saying was, they do a fitness routine where they have music. They have, you know, you have to have stage presence. You have to really, really, really show the definition in your muscle during that routine. So the girl on the far right beat the girl on the far left, even though the girl on the far left is bigger than the one on the right.
Now, did you tan too? Before,
Did I what?
did you tan before walking across stage?
Yes. So I'm dark skinned. You know what? Fantastic.
you don't get your ass out of here with those lies, you get the fuck out of here with those lies. Cocaine
I'm
Pam.
telling you. Fantastic. I'm a dark-skinned girl.
Stop it.
I promise
Stop it.
you.
My detector has been working strong for 36 long years. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh man.
Hey,
Even in the fitness industry, man, colorism, man.
I'm telling you, I was really, really dark because I had to, obviously get a tan, a spray tan. So
Yeah.
I, and I was like maybe 4 shades darker.
Oh, so now you are
4 or
Lupita
5.
Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, I tried to get that way. Absolutely. Fantastic. You don't believe me?
Hey, again, that's artificial. Artificial is allowed for temporary is allowed for certain occasions.
But I felt really good. I was dark skinned. I didn't get the colorism jokes or anything like that.
Man,
So.
hey, yeah, but once you took it off though, you faker.
Yeah, it was over with. It was
Yeah.
over.
Faker.
Oh yeah. Like you'd be like the chick from the NAACP. What's
Rachel.
Dolezal. Yeah, Dolezal.
Yeah. Y'all
Yeah.
out there spray tanning on the stage. Fuck is y'all doing, huh?
And here's the thing, like when you get the, like everybody was stinking on stage. Like everybody stinks on stage. So because you have to get the tan obviously the night before, and you cannot take a shower or anything like that.
Oh,
So
funky puss, huh?
what'd you say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Boo boo. Oh my.
And Long John's Captain D special.
Go ahead, Cocaine.
No, it was everybody, like I said, everybody is they really don't smell their best on stage. And I should have sent you my stage photo. I don't know if you have it or not, but yeah, and it's because obviously you have to get the spray tan, and you have to continuously, like I had to continuously put the tan on before walking on stage, like maybe like 15 to 20 minutes prior to walking on stage. So and also you're working out right before you walk on stage as well.
Get that pump.
So it's just it looks good on stage, but really like we're filthy.
Yeah. I mean, are you barefoot or are you in clear stilettos?
I wore clear stilettos.
Okay.
It's really like a beauty pageant, only you don't wear any clothes.
Yeah. There's a couple of dudes on, and I think in the manosphere, or what would be considered Black YouTube, who walked on stage as well. Forget his name right now, but yeah, he oiled down too, and he's dark skinned. I said, man, I mean, he only oiled down to his ankles. His feet was mad ashy though. I was like, come on, man, this is.
Well, Rainy Woman asked a question. I can't really see the chat. I just happened to peep in.
It says, why does she take steroids at Cocaine's couch? She's talking about the other girl in black, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you want to actually be the biggest and the best on stage. So her boyfriend actually is in the physique category for men. So they both were kind of taking steroids, but she just wanted to be really, 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 really big. And in my opinion, she was really addicted to working out, which is a good thing, but also like she was chasing her last best, if that makes any sense. So just constantly trying to get bigger.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, fantastic.
Yeah, if she got a boyfriend in it too, that's a big part of it too. I usually when you see that happen, what's the girl's name? It's the white girl, Kels, with that's the physique, that she's a bodybuilder. She was the same way. I think it's like Bailey Lynn or something like that. Anyway, whenever that happens, usually, especially as the boyfriend is a professional bodybuilder, he's gonna introduce her to steroids. And for people that just understand, like you said, physique is always the biggest portion of bodybuilding, and that's usually where you're gonna see the biggest use of like steroid use, because it's all about you having the biggest possible muscles, more so than like just and it's the definition of everything that comes with it.
Yeah, but taking an injection or however else they go about it, you don't necessarily get ripped overnight, man. That takes a lot of physical effort, man.
No, I'm not saying
the people in the chat. I'm saying the people in the chat. Somebody saying you
oh
can
yeah,
look at her and tell she's on steroids. That's bullshit.
yeah. Look, man. Yeah, bro. People have a misconception of like steroids too. I mean, even the pro like Ronnie Coleman took the I just see him do a recent interview with the same dude that did the Kobe interview, and he was saying like, hey, when he talked to the guy, because I think he placed either fourth or fifth, like all natural, and then he talked to damn, who was it? I forget who he said it, whoever it was he talked to, and they told him, he said, hey man, what do I have to do to win? And he said, pretty much, bro, you got to start taking these roids, because I mean, you're naturally, like you said, like you were saying, Mike, genetically he's a fucking freak, just off of by itself. But once he takes steroids, it just went to the next level. And then yeah, you don't just take fucking steroids, man, and the muscles come up overnight. You still have to put hard, heavy lifting. And like these, I don't think people understand, bro. These professional bodybuilders are like world-class athletes, man. They dedicate their lives to literally pushing their bodies beyond like, natural limits. If you haven't ever seen Ronnie Coleman, you know who Ronnie Coleman is, you know who Jay Cutler is, you don't know who
C.T. Fletcher in his prime.
Yeah, C.T. Fletcher. Yeah. You don't know who these people are, man. Just look it up. I mean, not especially, because everybody knows like Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit. But look at these black guys, man. Look at Phil Heath. Look at these black dudes. When black dudes got into bodybuilding, they took it over.
Yep.
Like hands down, like no question. And Ronnie Coleman is arguably, the best bodybuilder of all time. So yeah, man. I know it's a misconception that people think, oh, you just take steroids and you get muscles. Nah, it don't work like that, bro. You have to, you definitely have to still hit the gym, and it's actually, you have to do the shit the right way, or you end up like fucking Rich Piana. You leave up out of here. You hit that upper room a whole lot earlier.
Get your ass whipped on stage by Mack Truck.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna play that video just so people can see it. Stop sharing this for a second, because a lot of people think that you take it and then all of a sudden you're ripped. Nah, man, that's not the case, man. I think that's a very big misconception. I'm surprised to see cats in the chat, man, on that type of stuff. Still, go ahead.
Yeah, people are just ignorant, because you hear, myths or is misconceptions, and people don't understand. I don't even think people understand like bodybuilding until you deal with somebody that's like a bodybuilder, and like that's pretty much their job is their body. And especially to see it, with cats that have a full-time job and they spend like another 4 to 6 hours or whatever in the gym to work on their body while you know what I'm saying, they're not full pro yet. They hadn't got they have their card, but they're not sponsored fully, like these big time dudes. Yeah, man, that shit is no walk in the park, man.
Yeah, I expect everybody to take advantage of what's available. If there's no rules against it, I don't see why they wouldn't take it. Let me pause the video real quick. For those of you who know, this is Rich Piana right here. Mack Truck video already would pass him, but yeah, here he is right here, Mack Truck. Hilarious. But it's real. So that Lord Sky says sounds like Mike is juiced up. I'm not sure what Mike you're referring to, but I can assure you, man, I am all natural, man. Um, I'm probably closer to Adetokunbo when he came out of high school than anything else. You know, a lot of people look, you know, like I said, Adetokunbo is probably one of the best examples. That his transition, he can't be on steroids and pass a league drug test. I mean, even Dion Waiters can't pass a drug test. So,
Yeah, a couple of NBA guys got oh shit, my bad. A couple of NBA guys got jammed up this year. DeAndre Ayton got jammed up. He got caught in Phoenix, and the big man for the Atlanta Hawks, I can't think of his name, Duke, participated in the dunk contest a couple years ago. I can't think of his name, but he got suspended too. So yeah, man, this PUD thing is no joke. But I mean, there are ways there are ways to beat the test, quote unquote.
yeah, just don't take it at all. But yeah, I think that because I don't know what your body fat percentage is. Mine's last time I checked, I was at 15.7% body fat.
Bro, I'm definitely like close to 20, if not at 20 right now. Like I said, I'm what I'm damn near 290, bro. I'm not even trying to focus on anything other than getting as many calories as I can get, so I can, you know what I'm saying, so I can get bigger.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you're already big now. How big do you want to go, or do you want that V taper?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. This is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Like I said, a year ago, I bulked, and the highest I could get was to 260. You know what I'm saying? That was like my limit. And then over this year, I started lifting a whole lot heavier and just, you know, increasing my fucking food intake. And I took a lot more, as much as I didn't want to, because I was the whole weight gainer thing or whatnot, right? But that's the only way I could do it in order to get all the calories I needed, because I just can't eat that much food. That's another big thing too, man. I mean, you know, I think it's what one gram of protein per you know, work per body per pound, pretty much. And if you're trying to gain muscle, it's supposed to be like 1.5 or, you know, or somewhere around that range. So you gotta imagine, man, if you really want to increase your muscle mass, that's anywhere from, you know, 300 grams of protein a day on a daily, you know, to 350, damn near 400 grams of protein, man. So, you know, that's, man, it's hard, bro. it's been hard.
I'm surprised you didn't play for the Navy.
Nah, the basketball, all Navy basketball shit. I've tried, man. I made it to the the camp, like the main camp, but I had a deployment during that thing. So, and dude was like, he was pissed because he was like, hey man, you pretty much guaranteed we're gonna be on the fucking team, but they weren't gonna let me get out of the deployment to go play basketball. So it was what it was. I might still fuck with it one of these times before I get up out of here, but it's all the things, man.
So you're what are you 10 years in?
Nah, bro, I'm 16, bro. I got 4 left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that this sort of stuff needs to be talked about more than manosphere, man. There's so many guys, you know, walking around, you know, looking like they're refugees, man. You know, big ass white tees and, you know, Dragon Ball Z jeans on them and stuff like that, man.
Hey man, don't hate on the anime, man. I'm a black guy that likes anime, man.
I'm an anime guy myself, man. But you know, I'm more of the old school stuff like Gundam and stuff like that. But you know, I'm saying these guys walking around with the jeans, man. You know, looking kind of malnourished there, man. You know, some of these guys in Manchester talk about getting into fair ones and stuff like that. Like, you are not in any condition to be beefing with anybody.
That's what's funny to me, man. That's my thing. I'm like, size ain't everything, mind you. Size is everything. I know that, but at the same time, dude, they make weight classes for a reason. I tell cats this all the time, man. I'm like, there's a reason, you know. Floyd Mayweather is a world-class, possibly the best fighter of all time. But I guarantee you this, Floyd Mayweather would never, ever in his life think about stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson, all right? Or even Deontay Wilder at this point, or, you know, the fat dude that just beat up Ruiz that just lost the belt back from what's name. That they make weight classes for a reason, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe Ty City's at 250. He's right behind you. Only problem is, man, Ty City a little pudgy around the waist, man. So we got to help Ty City out.
Yeah, I ain't heard Ty City in the gym. I ain't heard Ty City talk about the gym too much. Now I hear him talking about working out and shit.
Nah, he's too busy lifting that fork, man.
Come on, man. Call him out, Mike. Call him out, man.
Ty City be sitting on them panels, man, lifting that fork.
But it ain't hard though. That's the thing about it, man. For a man, you know, bro, I done seen dudes do it, man. I helped some cats, man. I knew this dude too. And that's another thing too, bro. I didn't know this until I was like, until I was like a couple years in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I saw this dude walking around and he was bigger than me, right? Like he was bigger than me because I was a skinny cat. And then I saw a dude like get in the gym, man, and he couldn't lift a pillow, bro. Like so. and then people and like, you know what I'm saying? So like I learned from that point, like, you know, how you get the eye and you're able to look at somebody. And then these other cats, right, were like, this motherfucker walk around and, he's some fat ass sloppy dude or whatever the fuck. And I was like, nah, man. I'm like, no, I see the cuts in this dude's arm, you know, and I see the way his traps and things are built. Like, he may have a gut, but this is no weak guy, bro. And then, yeah, on some Wilson Fisk shit, damn, the Kingpin from Spider-Man, you mess around and get yourself hurt, man, thinking just because the dude got like a little pot belly on him, something that he's some out of shape dude, you better learn how to look at a physique.
Oh yeah. Rich Piana, big ass can be, man, couldn't fight his way up a wet paper bag, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let me share my screen real quick for Ty City, man. Ty City, you want to get in, man? 15 minutes a day on the ropes.
I was looking at those actual ropes too, bro. But those are way too expensive, bro. The weighted ropes, like they trying to finesse on those, bro.
Yeah, I got mine on Black Friday, so I got it for dirt cheap, but compared to what it is right now. But
yeah, them weighted ropes are hell, man. That was some of the best things for you.
Yeah, I got the quarter pound. I got a half pound. So 15 minutes a day, Ty City, man. You'll be pretty slim in 6 months, less than 6 months. If you're consistent with it, you're consistent with your diet. Because I know you like that Popeye's chicken, man. You be out there in line.
Yeah, man. You never go outwork a bad diet, man. You never gonna outwork a bad diet.
Yep. 2020, get strong. 2020, get lean. You gotta make up your mind, Ty. You know, put that fork down, put that spoon down, put them Cheetos down. Let me drop the link in the chat because people are asking about it.
But hey, man, speaking of that, anyway, I gotta get up out of here, man. I appreciate your spot on the panel, bro. I'm gonna drop back down and listen to you in the chat, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm about to close it out anyways. Thanks for coming by, man.
No problem, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Drop this in the chat for Ty City. Ty City says, eating like the king I am. You might think you King T'Challa, man, but you might be like something else, man. Jabba the Hutt. Maybe Pizza the Hut. Yeah, Ty City said that take down the thumbnail for this video. That's him. Oh man. Y'all dudes be wilding in the manosphere, man. Y'all be wilding. Let me see if let me see what some of the stuff that's being said. Damn, niggas is accusing Ty City of cheating. Ty City didn't say he used it. Ty City said he's on a ketogenic, high fat, low carb diet. Ty City be eating his son's Hostess cupcakes, man, and drinking his son's Capri Suns. It's the Sunny Delights and whatnot. I think Ty City's like 6'3" or 6'4", if I remember correctly. Miss Kells. Oh, she's gone now. Okay. Judge Zilla.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, bro?
Coming through clear?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. No, I was just messing around in there. You know, I like this conversation, even though I haven't been in the gym in about 4 years.
What?
Yeah. No, it's just not been really conducive to what I've been doing, actually. But I should have been in the gym. That's the thing. The point is, I'm not saying it's a good thing that I was out of the gym, but I should have been in the gym.
What? Former Division I athlete?
Yeah. No, but you're right. That's what happens to us, right?
Mm-hmm. I just don't want to see you on an ESPN 30 for 30, you know.
Well, that's kind of what happens is you know, once it's no longer really a type of career option, it just, and the other thing is, you know, you fall back on it because I'm like country strong. I'm like I'm I move transmissions with the fluid and automatic transmission with the transmission fluid and the torque converter on. I can lift rear end differentials by myself and move them around. You know what I mean? So you kind of fall back on I'm still country strong. I'm still strong as hell.
Yeah, chucking was a hay.
You know what I mean? It's still, you know, small block engines. You know what I mean? You still do that type of stuff without cherry pickers and stuff, without assistance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but not so much definition anymore. There might be a hot dog roll on the back of my neck.
Wow. So why did you stop, if you don't mind me asking?
Time commitment. Well, that's not true. I stopped because of a car accident.
Okay.
But I didn't stop eating.
Okay.
So that's the problem. You know, I stopped training, but I still kept eating as if I was training or maintaining. I wasn't really training for anything. I was just maintaining because I wanted to get at the time that before I got in the car accident, I wanted to be the master of my own body weight. Right, because the closer you start getting to 40, right, a lot of people start to kind of start. A lot of people, not everybody, right, but trying to. It's not about the biggest biceps and the biggest traps and the biggest, you know what I mean, anymore. It's about, okay, how are my knees going to hold up? How's my back going to hold up? How, you know what I mean, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you can still do that, but then there's, you know, after 40 and beyond, you know, there are some things that, you know, you try to do stuff like that, you're going to be looking at stress injuries, you're going to be looking at going that hard, right? Stress injuries, and possible, TRT type situations.
Yep. Yep. So are you capable of doing any sort of cardio or any sort of strength training, or is that just something that's not on your agenda?
Oh, I'm getting back into it now, but again, one of the problems is there's only 24 hours in the freaking day.
Mm-hmm.
And and I work and I study, and then I work on my business that I'm ready to start that I'm ready to start actually earning revenue from in the first quarter of next year. So and you have to sleep, in my downtime. Actually, here's the thing, to be honest with you, in the downtime, instead of me being here, I should probably be doing something.
You don't consider the manosphere constructive?
No, I do consider it constructive. I'm talking about most frequently when I'm talking about is when I'm just participating for entertainment's sake because I have some downtime.
Right. Right. I mean, you can get one of those exercise pedals under your desk and get it in and participate in the manosphere, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's very true. I could be doing seated crunches. I could be doing push-ups. I could be doing all that. So it's all in I hopefully 100% admit it's excuses. They're not reasons, they're excuses. And that's and that's the thing, is recognizing, like, God damn, man, you need to do something, man. You need to do something about this.
Nah, man.
I mean, but the other thing is I guess that people in my position, right, also kind of see people that, right, I'm not in a rascal scooter. I'm not doing all, I don't have to get I don't have to get a special seat for my car,
A lift or something like that, a wheelchair.
But it shouldn't need to get that far for somebody to make a change anyway.
Yeah, I just don't want to hear about Judgezilla being on like one of these specials on Lifetime or something like that, where they cut you out of the house. They cut you out of the house and get you out, man.
Yeah. No, that's definitely it could never get it could never get that way for me. I'm very impressed by the workouts that you've been putting up. I'm seriously, like, crazy impressed by Cocaine Kels. I've seen the name around several times. I've seen her in mods, and we've exchanged we've exchanged some chat barbs at each other on a few occasions, but most of the time we've been very cordial to each other. But I'm very impressed with her work ethic, and yours and Thai City, uh, the work ethic that he used to display, at least. That's a shot.
Yeah.
That's a shot from a fat kid, but right now, but it's it is inspiring to say, like, look, man, you used to be in a position, you might not be able to be back in that position, but you can get as close as you can. And that's, I think, a lot of this position that people in mind that I call myself the formerly fit fat kid.
Oh, yeah.
That
You're like a dad bod.
Yeah, I guess yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. It would qualify. It would definitely qualify.
That's how it's stored.
Yeah, Thai City got the hood bod. What do you do?
The baby daddy bod.
What do you do?
Nah, but that's real talk though, man.
Mhm.
That's real talk, bro. Because now, I'm losing the weight. I'm getting closer to my goal, but I need to start lifting. You know what I'm saying? I think I made it this far just on diet alone.
Well, yeah, and like what you were saying earlier, that's why I've been messing with keto for the last 2 months.
It's gonna be that third month.
Yeah, and very strictly, right? But I'm full disclosure. Keto is very unpleasant for the first week to 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. You just got to know how to do it.
Yeah.
it was annoying to me until I started looking it up and seeing, you know what I'm saying, what other people was doing. So, you know what I'm saying, you gonna be the weird guy, you know what I'm saying, ordering the hamburger without the bun and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, scraping the toppings off the pizza, you know what I'm saying. But I mean, you get
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah.
But after around that third month, you're gonna really, it's got similar effects to fasting. It's weird.
My actual go-to is rotisserie chicken and broccoli.
Oh, that's
Is
too
that for,
bland for me, bro.
is that for a pizza?
No, just as a meal, as a quick meal. You know, as a quick meal setup is rotisserie chicken and broccoli.
So are you from the South too?
Southwest, Arizona.
Oh, well,
I'm in
that,
Texas.
yeah, that doesn't count.
But see, you know, down here, you know, you could get you like a, I guess what they call like a Mexican bowl or whatever, and it's ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? My thing now is just meal prepping. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
what if I don't meal prep? I'm gonna fuck up, bro.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
for sure.
Because if I meal prep, I can be like, nope, that's not part of the plan. I got the plan with me in my toolbox. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
if I don't, bro, I'm going off the rails.
yeah, I pack a lunch myself, man. I prep on Sunday for like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I'll prep again on that Wednesday night for Thursday and Friday, man. I try not to give my money to any sort of point of sale systems, man, for food.
You know what I like, Ty City, as far as the keto goes there. What I like to do is I bought 2 muffin pans, right?
Yeah.
And I like to I kind of like to make an omelet in a cup.
Oh yeah, the spinach egg omelet muffin thing.
Not so much. I do put spinach in it, but it's spinach, cheese, egg, and a sausage link.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of like a Farmer John's or something like that. You know what I mean? It's you know.
Have you tried MCT oil yet?
No.
Where do you get that
No,
from?
that actually scares me, and you know why?
Yeah, Mike, you did well. You on a different diet regimen though.
Where do you get that from?
But well, I get it from the vitamin shop.
You can they sell that at Walmart now.
Yeah, we don't have a
Oh,
Walmart
yeah.
in Boston, but
Yeah, that MCT oil ain't no joke, bro.
oh, okay, MCT. Okay, I thought you were talking about a different type of oil.
Yeah, so
No, it's derived from coconut oil, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
medium chain triglyceride. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just goes right into your system.
Yep.
But I like it though. It keeps you more regular. You know what I'm saying, on the ketogenic diet, because and it makes sure you keep your fat high, and it keeps you in the ketosis too.
Yeah, but you better learn your ratios pretty quickly.
Yeah. That ain't nothing to play with, because you're gonna get cleaned out.
Yeah, but don't eat after 8 o'clock, man. Ty City, and don't sleep with your socks on. Those are 2 things.
Intermittent fasting is also one of the things I'm doing, where I try to not eat. I don't eat past 9 o'clock, and I don't eat my breakfast until I won't eat what I reference as breakfast until 11.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing OMAD for a while, and I got real good results with that. But I gotta eat, bro. So I can't. I have to break it down to more than 1 meal a day. I wish I could do it more. I'd probably lost a whole lot more weight if I did that.
You gotta liquefy, Ty. You gotta liquefy. Don't always reach for a solid, man. A smoothie is actually going to be just as beneficial without actually filling your belly up with something solid all the time. Kind of sip on a smoothie, like if you eat at 12 o'clock high noon for lunch, 2:30, 2:45. It won't hurt you to actually have a smoothie or even some nuts and some raw honey. That's actually carry you over, man, until about 5:30, 6 o'clock when you start, you go home for dinner, you have that meal, and then by 9 o'clock, like Judge was saying, man, that's your end point right there. You don't want to go.
Yeah, I do got to get into that. I see a lot of people doing the meal replacement stuff. I do got to get into that. Yep. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, get yourself a good blender, man. A NutriBullet might be fine, a Ninja might be fine, but I like some of the heavy duty stuff that can crush ice and everything at the same time. So, you get yourself a Breville or a Vitamix if you can find one refurbished at Bed Bath and Beyond. They usually have them discounted.
Right. Yeah,
any one of those, man. Those things are heavy duty. What I find with NutriBullets and Ninjas is that they die after like 1 year or so, or within a few months, and it becomes a pain to go replace it. So I figure just get the heavy duty stuff, and it usually lasts for quite some time.
Yeah, hey, do you do any weighted ab workouts?
I don't do ab workouts because you don't build abs, from that. You actually build abs in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I understand that, but I've been seeing a lot of people who they do weighted ab workouts. That's why I wanted to ask you if you do it, because from my understanding is like you're gonna lose the weight once you get a low body fat percentage, then you're gonna be able to see the definition.
Yeah, because a weighted ab workout would be something like they don't actually call it an ab workout. It would be a core workout, right? So your core from the abdomen all the way down. But you can do things like med ball slams, that's weighted, hanging knee raises with a dumbbell in between your leg, in between your feet, that's weighted.
Right.
Even a sit up on a decline bench with like a kettlebell or something like that, that's weighted. You don't necessarily have to do that. I think a lot of guys do that because they want the challenge, but I don't think it's actually necessary. Cocaine might have a difference of opinion there, but my thing is you're going for high reps and fewer sets, and your transition time is going to be very small in between. You're talking anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds in transition time to the next core workout. But to answer your question, no, I don't necessarily do ab work. You get a lot of ab work when you do HIIT work.
Okay, yeah. So you don't do more you probably do more of the CrossFit stuff, huh?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I got a couple of CrossFit gyms. One of my friends actually run a CrossFit gym close to my job, but I got my son to pick up though. I got to find a quick, I guess, 30, 40 minute situation where I can squeeze in before I pick my son up.
Well, you know what you can do, Ty, man? You can get yourself an elliptical for the home, man. And 15, 20 minutes on elliptical is actually going to be very beneficial. You can do that while you listen to a live stream. That's how I work out, man. So
well, here's
in the chat, and I'm not talking is because I'm working out.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
next year I want to take it past my diet, man, because I to be honest, the results that I've seen just by taking on the keto is awesome, but I know I can go harder, bro. And that's
right.
why I'm gonna step it up next year.
Well, Ty, let's be real with ourselves. You can do burpees in your house or in your front yard or your backyard.
Yeah, I know. I should, bro. But like, to me, I get into a routine. I have to fit other stuff into my routine, So I go to work, I pick my son up, and then I just relax. You know what I'm saying? I gotta fit, other stuff in. I got cars I gotta work on too that I gotta finish with.
And I'm saying this to you and to me, right? Again, it's acknowledging what our excuses are and acknowledging what our reasons. Again, I'll take that year of recovery I had to have after my car accident, but the 3 years after that was just me not doing shit.
I mean, Ty, you need to join CrossFit. You don't need to join a CrossFit box because that's what it is. It's not a gym; it's called a box. But because CrossFit boxes are actually pretty expensive. They're usually about anywhere between $250 to $300 a month. And you got to make sure you use every last day out of it in order to get the benefit from it. But I've seen guys, man, put their son in the stroller, man, in one of those heavy duty strollers, and then just push them, while they're running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what your stamina is, but
I do pretty good walking. I don't like jogging. I think I'll probably end up getting me like a road bike to stay off my knees. You know what I'm saying? Cause I tried that at first. You know what I'm saying? When I first gained the weight, I said I need to go walk. Then I got comfortable walking. Then I went to high stakes, but I started taking off into an all-out sprint. I was like, nah, I gained too much weight, and I could feel it on my joints.
Yep. Battle ropes are real good too for that. You can do battle ropes with the skip rope, not the skip rope, the cross rope. I just posted in the chat. That's actually going to be really beneficial. That would actually be a heck of a lot beneficial in 20 minutes, in the time that you have in transition for picking up your son. But I see a lot of dudes, man, or a lot of people actually bring their kids with them when they actually go do walking and stuff like that. You got good down in DFW, so you can actually get that off.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm gonna take it past my diet because like even when I get into ketosis, I always eat something and I can tell when I get knocked out of ketosis, and I'm gonna take my diet more serious next year too.
Mm-hmm.
You know
well,
like
the easiest way to realize that you've been kicked out of ketosis, right, from experience, is you get hungry.
Oh yeah. See, once you get deep into ketosis, you'll forget that you haven't ate.
Yeah.
But you have all this energy, man. Like like I said, then when I was doing OMAD, when I was eating 1 meal a day, it gave me like this real heightened like level of energy.
Yeah.
But like I said, I got a meal prep. That's my situation. If I just don't meal prep, I'll mess up.
But Thai City, they have services that can deliver a whole week of meal prep to you. I think it's like $6 a day or something like that, something to that effect. And it's already prepped for you.
That warehouse down the street from my job too. I forgot the name of the company though.
Yeah, Cocaine Kells has her hand raised. You have something you want to share with us, Cocaine?
Yeah, I was just going to say in regards to, having strong core muscles. I mean, it is very beneficial in a lot of different ways, specifically when you are training and getting your core stronger, it also affects your lower back. So you're less likely to suffer from back pain. Also, I'm sorry, there was somebody talking to me. It allows you also to run faster. So, in terms of having that visual beauty, it is beneficial when you're working out as well to have strong core muscles. So there's a lot of different benefits, including enhancing your flexibility.
Yep.
And improving your balance and your posture. All of those things are great benefits when you strengthen your core.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to make sure that we understand that, although you will have a six-pack and whatever else, it is definitely beneficial when you are doing your other workouts as well.
Yeah, because I heard Thai City on a hot mic moment, man. He went to go bend over to pick up his son. He's like, boy, you getting heavy. I'm like, he's only like one. What are you talking about?
Well,
but he putting on weight though, man. And he always wants me to pick him up. Like I'm starting to get to that point now, Hey, I'm trying to. Hey, you know what? I realized I was getting fat, man. I was leaning on stuff a lot. I was like, man, what's going on? And
but
you know what? I would catch myself And I'm like, dang, that's some fat shit, man.
But you see this. Look, see, here's the thing. Again, that's Ty City situation with me. I'm able to convince myself I'm still all right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 2 weeks ago, I had to overhead press a side-by-side refrigerator, and I did it. Right. So because I could fall back on country strong, and because I still get attention, you see what I'm saying? I convince myself that I might not need to do the work that I know that I need to do.
Wait. Is this just an example or something that really happened?
What do you mean?
You picked up a barn door refrigerator.
Not a barn door, side by side. I guess you might tell. Not like the. Don't get me wrong, and not the one that's a thicker. Not the one the ones that are wider than an NFL lineman, right? But
Right.
you know, it's still a side. It's still a decent size side by side refrigerator, right?
Now,
I had to help somebody. I had to help somebody move, and it wouldn't fit through the front door, so we had to get it over the pouch. To get it into their condo, we had to get it over their wall.
okay.
And right, so that's kind of how that happens, right? So again, yeah, because I do these, but the problem is even I know this.
Mhm.
They're one-time feats, right? They're not continuous feats of continuous activity. They're one time. So I convince myself because of country strength that and again, country strength, and because I still get attention,
Mhm.
that I don't need to do the work that I know I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once I started feeling it, I was like, man, I definitely got to do something. And I started a diet the next day. I started researching different diets and stuff, and yeah, that's when I had started last year. About actually, it was around my birthday, around June, I had started. So yeah, I'm down 50 pounds in about 6 months.
Yeah.
Good times,
Especially
man.
the way you bench press those panels, right?
What's that now?
Nah, she said something slick.
No. Cocaine. Restate your statement.
What I was saying was, especially the way that you bench press on those panels, boom, boom.
See, I told you. No, I gotta get my weight up though, man, because I swear to God, I can whoop Trey's ass, bro. Hey, Trez was cracking jokes, bro. I was like, man, hell no. This motherfucker on Instagram bigger than the whole picture.
Yeah, Trish is pretty stout. But yeah, Tyson, 2020 got to be the year for you, man. You got to break out, man, and really get this thing popping, man. You should be, really getting it in, man. Don't just rely on just the diet alone, man. You can do a lot of stuff at home.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's where I'm getting at, Mike, because I lost so much weight. I'm like, what's the end result? I'm gonna be skinny. You know what I'm saying? Like if I just continue to lose weight, I need to start putting on.
A lot of cats that like to trade with you for that position, man.
Man, hey,
keep in mind.
Cocaine, go ahead.
No, he can go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm listening.
Oh, I was just going to say, keep in mind, in terms of losing weight, you still are not going to be strong. So the thing is that that's why you have to eat clean as well as actually lift weights or cardio or whatever. Just make sure that you're active, because you don't want to be real skinny and just can't lift anything.
Yeah,
I know. That's where I'm getting at. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, I lose another 50 pounds of just fat, and I don't put no muscle on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm tall. You know what I'm saying? I know I can't. And that's another thing. When I put the weight on, I was tall, so it wasn't like I just blew up. But yeah, man,
you can't. That Datsun 240Z or 260Z, man, with them sport bucket seats, man, the Recaros, man, you gotta be able to fit in those.
Yeah, I told you I couldn't fit in that Cayman.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. No, that shit was real, bro. I was finna buy a Porsche Cayman, I couldn't fit in it, and I remember I told y'all that I wanted that car so bad, bro.
You should have done
automatic. Go back, no more, dog.
There are so many cars. There are so many cars I don't fit
man.
in. There are so many cars I don't fit in.
I know, man. I looked at it just because I put the weight on, man, and you know, in the seat, your waist has to be. You gotta have a slim waist
Yeah, for
when you get in them sport buckets and stuff like that.
Most of the seats, yep. And plus, it doesn't help that Tie City weighs like a size 13, man.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Look, I'm 6'4", right? You know, I'm 6'4", and dude, even when I was at my fittest, I couldn't fit in a Mini Cooper to drive it.
No, you don't want that anyways, man.
You know, I just it's just what that is. It's just, you know, so like I had to stop riding. Like I haven't ridden like a solid amusement park ride since I was 18 years old, because those harnesses don't close on me, and that's, you know, when I was fit, you know.
Mhm.
I don't get on amusement park rides because I'm a technician. I work with a lot of mechanical things, and I can just hear everything, and it give me the creeps. It's cringy seeing all them people get on them though.
So, Ty City, you got a Samsung or Android smartwatch or fitness watch?
No, I don't.
Yeah, though, you know, I'm not recommending you get one, but I think sometimes those are beneficial to kind of pace yourself as to how many steps you took per day, and you know, how many calories you might have theoretically burned and stuff like that, so that you measure your caloric intake versus your caloric burn.
I tell you, I don't want to make fun of it. Mike, how tall are you?
6'4".
You're 6'4"?
Yep.
Because look, if you're 6'4", and I'm assuming you're in great shape, but I'm assuming that your hands got to be about the same size as my hands, man. Dude, with those smart watches, I look at them and I know that they're effective, right? But I didn't even begin to text it. I didn't begin to text because until they started getting large phones. Like with the smartphone, I just see myself trying to use my pinky, and it's like the Incredible Hulk trying to use a cell phone.
Oh, yeah. I have a OnePlus 6T phone, but I know what you're talking about. There has to be the Samsung Galaxy Note is supposed to fit the, you know, for those sort of people like you're referring to, like their hands and stuff like that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. When you talk about the smartwatches, right? I don't even see how my hand will work to navigate around it. You know what I'm saying?
You don't. There's a crown on the side of the watch. You just move the crown and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I see people, I see people messing with it all the time, but their fingers are half the size of my fingers, so it's like,
nah, because there's a button, there's a message on the watch that say, do you want to activate these features on the watch or on the phone? And then it will open up the app on the phone, and then you just configure it that way. But
that makes sense.
Mike, which watch you got?
I have the Fossil G5.
The Fossil G5?
Mm-hmm. It just came out last month.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you change the bands? Because I don't like rubber bands and like plastic bands.
No, I got classic leather bands for mine that match all my shoes and my belts. I have that, and I have the Polar chest strap. So that's what I use for CrossFit and stuff like that. So I get a more accurate result. I can't use this watch for working out. It's not feasible because the crown is my if I do a kettlebell swing or something like that, the crown constantly goes in. It activates itself, and then if it presses for more than 3 seconds, then it shuts the watch off inadvertently. So it wouldn't be useful for any sort of working out.
What's that chest strap thing like?
It's a chest strap. So you basically have a tracker, fitness tracker on the middle of your breast cavity, and it's closest to your heart. So it's just measuring your heart rate. But I don't have any problems with it. I had the arm strap as well. Arm strap is pretty good too. But the only problem with arm strap is that if you do too many activities, then what happens in my experience is that the sensor will flip because your arms are flipping around, and then the sensor will actually end up going inverted. Not a big deal, but I just don't need any inaccuracies when I'm trying to measure something. So So the chest strap works best for me.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna hit it hard, man, next year because I wasn't expecting to lose this much weight so fast, and now I'm kind of motivated to see like what I'm saying, what happened if I start lifting weights and stuff.
No, oh yeah, you're gonna gain real quick because you can do both. That's what CrossFit is basically for. It's to do exactly that. It's to give you that burn and still build muscle at the same time.
Okay.
But
yeah, because when I lost the weight, I just thought I lost the weight. Like now, you know what I'm saying? I was telling somebody else that now I sleep better. You know what I'm saying? I feel better. Like I'm more mobile. Like now I feel like I can really get into a groove with like working out.
Yeah, get yourself a juicer too. I can't recommend that enough, man. A juicer, man, that's going to actually get that organic flavor from the fruits and vegetables, man. If you look in one of their books, I know I use Breville, and I recommend Breville, but they have a book that comes with it.
Hey, do you do any coffees or teas?
I don't do coffee. I know Cocaine Kells might do coffee, but I don't do coffee. Tea, I might do tea if I'm feeling queasy, but that's just green tea for me.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been doing some reading and whatnot, and I'm gonna have to kick the keto to get on protein if I want to start gaining mass. You know what I'm saying? Muscle. So yeah, I want to start going for more of my strength too, man. So I'm gonna have to start venturing out and finding out what works.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
I was just like, I just realized that we were talking about while doing stuff while we're here. I just realized that I have resistance bands.
Yep, I have a whole series of resistance bands.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna tell y'all what I did, man. Top of the year, man. I moved from the bigger house to the smaller house. I downsized, and then I took my weight set, my bench, and my incline and all that. I took it to my brother's house. Like before I even got a chance to like use it myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to his house, and he got a whole bunch of like stuff all over it. I'm gonna ask for it back, and I know he's gonna act funny, but I'm gonna have to get that back because I got an extra room that I can use, that I can put it in and use. But yeah, I got stuff.
Yeah, if you got an extra room, I would definitely put an assault bike in there. I can't recommend these enough, man.
The assault bike, you got one?
Yep.
You gotta use those. You gotta use those with headphones though, because they get loud.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you listen to the Manosphere, I mean, I got noise cancellation headphones. I got the jobbers. So
okay, that's the one with the weighted wheel, right? Or it's got a gear on it.
Nah, no gear on it. No gear on it.
It's just okay. It's just got the momentum of the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you might get. Go ahead.
Okay, one of those. I'm thinking of a different one. Okay.
Yeah, this is a competition bike. It's a competition bike.
It's actually okay. So that's the brand Assault.
Yeah.
Do you actually cycle on a bike?
I used to, man. The problem is you got to get a proper bike and get the proper gear, man. I don't have the whole lot of time because I work outside of the city, so I'm not all. By the time I get home, it's already dark, so I can't really cycle like that. But and my job is too far away to be cycling. But I think getting a good bike is actually gonna be beneficial, but you're gonna cough up some bread for a good bike, unless you go to Walmart.
Right.
Yeah, that Peloton and the like. Those are purchases. Those are for sure for real purchases, and the monthly subscription service on top of them.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a whatchamacallit, a spin bike too. Spin bike is actually pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's kind of what I was referencing.
Yeah, so these spin bikes usually find them for pretty cheap. I know Black Friday they were going for pretty dirt cheap as well. So
Okay. Yeah. See, I do want to get. I do gotta get it together, bro. I be seeing y'all post all y'all routines and stuff, man. I was like, dang, man, I gotta get it together, man.
You and me
There ain't no
both.
way I'm gonna do a marathon or nothing like that right now, bro. And,
No,
and
well-
they have those all the time here.
yeah, because we don't want you trying to shoot the fair one and then find out you're getting jacked up, man. You be cool. No, you be cool.
I was gonna run up on trees. I got that's in 2021. I'll wait a whole year.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Be up on the panels doing the Lizzo, man, at the Lakers game. I don't know you.
I'm confident. I'm confident in my ability with anybody for 60 seconds, and as long as I got the high ground.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man.
If it lasts more than 60 seconds, then I might be in some trouble.
Yeah.
No, that's where I'm at with it, man. I was telling my brother, I was like, man, ain't no way I'm fighting, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if I do, man, it's just I'm not gonna do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking about that the other day, man. I was like, man, because I used to be in shape, man. That's the tragedy of it all, bro.
Isn't it? Isn't it though?
Like, being in shape, you don't have to worry about it, man. You kind of wish somebody would try you. Man, I don't wish nobody to try me right now, bro. I just want to be left alone, dog.
Just put it on layaway
here,
until
man.
2021. Put it on layaway until 2021.
Yeah, man. We can shoot the fade.
By the time Trump leaves office, we'll shoot. By the time he's impeached.
We can shoot the film one after they push it through the Senate. That's why I shoot the film with y'all niggas, man. Until then, man, I'm just over here doing my thing, man. Leave me alone.
Hopefully the UBI shows up.
Hey, listen. Leave me alone. I'm in the beginning of my montage right now. I'm not ready for this shit.
Yeah, man.
The music just started.
Bro, let me tell you, bro. And when I stepped on the scale, bro, it was at 299 point something, but it was going to 300, and I was like, oh nah, hell no, 300 pounds, and the scale was just going back and forth, and it was like, you keep playing, I'm gonna give you 300. You keep on playing.
Yeah, different scales gonna give you different results, man. Some of these scales are really, really off. So I would definitely get the most professional scale you can get. Some of those old analog scales, they might give you like a 10, up to 10-pound differentials, man. So try to find yourself a digital scale. I know I used to have one, man. I don't have it right now, but
Hey Mike, what about those scales that give you like body fat percentages and stuff like that?
Oh, with the electric current? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking. I was like, how does it calculate your body mass? Like,
you can enter those functions in. There's an app that you download.
Well, technically, what I can explain it a little bit if you like.
Go ahead.
There's a mild electrical current. And based on the electrical current, it reads electrolytes and it reads conductivity through the fat tissue. So if you're appropriately hydrated, right? That's a key. You have to be appropriately hydrated. It can differentiate between bone mass, muscle mass, and fat, based on the conductivity of the received signal as it comes back through, as when the circuit is completed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering how I came up with all that stuff just by stepping on it.
I mean, there again, like what Mike said, he's very accurate in his depiction of saying that scales are on and off. That's going to be that's going to be kind of a rough estimate as well.
Okay.
But in the numbers that he said, unfortunately for me, Mike, 10%, excuse me, 10 pounds is not statistically relevant to me.
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay,
it's
I'll
also
10 pounds.
close. Trying to go into
I'm
scale.
plus or minus roundabout.
It's just not statistically relevant in my situation. Yeah, a lot of scales told me the same thing, and I said I didn't like them all.
Yeah, I think you say that to all the boys, right? That's what you told the scale.
Hey, so you use a caliber to measure your body fat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get back in the zone, man. Like that, it really do. Like seeing other guys on their shit, man. I'll be like, man, I gotta get with it, man.
You got to do the Killer Mike thing, man.
Yeah, too many scales. Too many scales told me one at a time, please.
Yeah, man, because I'm dropping the weight. The weight ain't the problem. I'm just like, man, I have never been. I don't want to be skinny, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to get somewhere around 220, and I want to be solid 220. I don't know what's fantastic, bro. He's talking about going up. I like. No.
Well, keep in mind that Fantastic is like, he's like 15 to 20% body fat, man. So he's really down on it. And I mean, if he goes up, he's going to be all muscle anyways. So.
Well, but that's what I mean. I put in the chat as well. As somebody again who was fit at one point and got laid in light fat. Getting up past 250, man. Getting up past 250 and playing that much basketball. Invest in knee braces.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in knee braces, at least for support. If not, at least to support because the wrong lateral move, man. The wrong lateral move at the right time.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get to a weight that I can actually maintain, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to like Fantasia. You got to eat and eat and eat to maintain this. I don't want to do that.
You could eat 6 times a day, Thai City, but as long as it's nutritional items, oranges, fruits. I usually in the afternoon I have like some fruits and nuts, man, in a bowl. Some bananas with some peanuts or some strawberries and some cashews and stuff like that. Mangoes, coconut.
Do you track your blood sugar at all?
I used to.
Okay.
I haven't done that since 2015.
Yeah, see now, you know what I'm saying? Like I get into ketosis. If I eat an orange, bro, I can feel it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like some grapes or stuff like that. I gotta eat like raspberries and stuff like that. But next year, like I said, I'm gonna start getting into proteins and get into different carbs and find out what works for me.
Are you more like on the side of Killer Mike?
Nah, I'm not that. I'm not that big.
I would say that's about where I'm at.
I'm taller than him.
You said
I would say that's about where I'm at 6'4". That's about where I'm at.
Okay.
But it shocks people when I tell them my actual weight because they say it doesn't look like it, right? Because what they think of that weight isn't what other depictions of that weight are is not what it is on me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Man, Killer Mike getting it together, man. I gotta get it together, bro.
Yeah, I just don't want Thai City, man. Talking about hit that super chat, hit that Cash App, so I can get that gastric man done, man, down in Dominican Republic.
I got for 2 tickets, 2 parade tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna get that big, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, just because he's that size doesn't mean he doesn't have some strength under all of that, man. I mean,
right, exactly.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm fairly strong, bro. Like I'm strong. Like I never like lost any like strength, bro. I don't know, man. You know what? Like it's just it's weird, bro. I guess it's like you know how they say when you ride in a cart, it's the underlying muscles that get fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a lot of that going on, bro, because you know my posture, bro. I would, but I would walk, and I can feel myself walking different to keep my balance. You know what I'm saying?
You got to cut down your sugar, man. That sugar intake is gonna be deadly.
Yeah, I mean, I cut all my sugar intake out. I cut the sugar intake out all the way, but I mean, I think that's contributed most to most of my weight loss is, you know, like, bro, I got a sweet tooth too, man. Like sodas, cakes and shit, man. Forget about it, bro. M&M.
Oh man, yeah, you eat like a trucker, man.
Bro,
Well, I
I'm telling
mean,
you, man.
well, here's the thing. Here's the
bro.
thing. Everybody has that. That's a genetic marker for mammals. That's the thing. Everybody. That's one of the things I had to come to terms with, Ty, is realizing, right? Replace that. Okay, let me put it this way, right? What you say about sugar, right, and the sweet tooth, right?
Right.
Replace that with like crack or heroin, and does
Well,
that
see, that's
sentence
the
make
thing,
sense?
though, bro.
Right?
So check this out. Not to cut you off, bro.
Yeah.
I cut all the sugar out, bro. I started losing all this weight, bro. Don't you know, like, if I eat something sweet with sugar, bro, it is, bro. It's almost orgasmic, dog. It's so sweet to me, dog. Like, and then next thing you know, bro, I done got off track, bro.
Yeah, no, I trust me, I understand it. But I had to get, what I had to tell what I had to get to myself is the excuse that I'm getting of a sweet tooth is the same excuse that crackheads get to stay on crack, that heroin addicts get to stay on heroin, that meth heads get to stay on to stay on meth. Man, it's so good.
No,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
and that's what it is, man. Those simple sugars, man. I had to get used to just, bro. I had to drink a diet soda just to like. I hated diet soda. I hate that, but I just had to like. Now to the point where I could drink a diet Dr Pepper if I have to. If I just have to have a soda, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you got to get off of that, man. You got to get off of that, man. I got a water bubbler, and I went and got one from Home Depot. So,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. My saving grace is liquid stevia.
Oh yeah.
Liquid stevia.
Yeah.
It comes in a little squeeze bottle. It comes in a little squeeze bottle. You give it don't squeeze it like don't squeeze it like big people squeeze things. You got to squeeze it like little people squeeze things. But
what did you say, Kim? I think Kim was finna say something.
I was just gonna ask, are those like football players?
Say that again, Kels. Your mic broke up.
Are they football players or something?
Who's that? Who are you talking about?
The guy training Killer Mike.
No. Mike Rashid is a bodybuilder, fitness coach, and then Killer Mike is a rapper, right?
Producer more
Okay.
like now, but yeah.
Because I was just gonna say their form is terrible.
Well, if I think it might be depending on his size, man. I mean, sometimes when some people are in that position, they can never get the form 100% down correct. I think the form starts to adjust more as they come along. But I get your point, though. I get your point. I was kind of cringing earlier too.
Well, there's an incident of that, and then there's an incident. It's the size and it's fatigue level.
Hey, Mike. So what you using for a sweetener? Because I was using a guave nectar.
I use strictly fruit. Get one of those fruit infusers and pour your water in there and then put the fruit in.
So the water bubbler it make like a soda type. You know what I'm saying? Like a sparkling water type.
No. This is just regular water. Not from the tap. This is straight from the bubbler. Straight from the bubbler.
You don't put no flavor in it?
I don't necessarily need to, but if I want flavor, I can just put, again, that's what the juicer is for. That's what the juicer is for. You throw your oranges in there, squeezing oranges out, or celery or cucumber, carrot, whatever it is that you're trying to put in, and beet juice.
Well, there's like I said, the liquid stevia. There's the monk fruit extract. There's the agave that you were talking about earlier. Those are more. I won't say natural necessarily because they're still processed, but they're not the uh, blue, pink, or yellow stuff.
Okay.
Aspartame,
Man.
aspartame, sucralose, and what's Splenda. I just can't think of what that is, but they're not those things. They're not natural, but they're not lab made. I guess I'll put it that way, maybe.
Yeah, it get kind of tricky with like keto and stuff because a lot of sauces and dips and stuff like that, they be having hidden sugars in them.
Yeah.
They'll knock you out of ketosis.
Yeah. So you had 1/3 of this all down. You had the ketosis in, but then you got to add the strength and then add the cardio into it.
Yeah, I do, man, and that's one of the things I want to do, bro. Because man, my son, he gonna turn 4, bro. I gotta always be able to whoop his ass, bro. We can't have that misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? He's 10 and he's sizing me up, bro. It ain't going down like that, bro.
Or even that, he's not, he's 10, he's 5, he gets to be 5 and he runs away from you when you pull out the belt, man. You're like, if you don't get over here, like, I'm out of here, man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, he snatched the belt out of my hand, bro. Bro, I can't, bro. I ain't going, dog. Yeah, but I do, man. Next year, bro, I am, bro. I gotta hit it hard because I wanted to do it last year, but like I said, bro, I started getting comfortable and I started sprinting, and then I was like, nah, my knees ain't ready. I gotta lose some more weight. I can feel it in my joints, dog.
Yeah, that happens, man. That happens. And see, the thing is, especially for guys in IT, we sit around a lot, man. So because we do a lot of typing, we're constantly in meetings and stuff like that. So we're constantly sitting. And that really hurts us. So in IT, you see a lot of guys who are plus size or even reaching that figure. And it's because they, the normalcy of the job actually keeps them in that position.
Yeah, you see that a lot with the truckers too, man. They like their legs be swollen, like their ankles and their feet be like swollen, bro. Because the circulation to their legs is not there. It's like fluid just building up in the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ty City's son, man, might end up becoming a passport bro, taking off on his father.
Hell no, man. Hey, I'm telling you, bro, I can't do it, dog. I was just thinking about that the other day, man. Now he get out the car and he run to the door. He'll say, I beat you, Daddy. I beat you. But I'm letting him win right now. I don't want it to be like for real, like you know what I'm saying. I really can't beat him to the door, bro. Yeah. I can't go, man. I do got to do better, man. I know I do, dog. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to do like a Manosphere challenge, man. Well, not much of a challenge, but like a meetup, man, where where we actually go out and work out, man. I know Nagona and myself had talked about this in the past. Guys really linking up, doing what Mike Rashid is doing, doing collaborations like that, going beyond the topics, man, of like the normal topics of what what is normally to talk about on these platforms, but I really think
for sure, putting stuff into action, man. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, because I think it's important, man. Dr. Phoenix talked about this a lot, but there's a lot of young dudes, man, young Black dudes dying of heart attacks, died of seizures, young age, 32.
Man, the guy was a guy who, when I first started him, man, he actually had, I don't know what, he had just started working out. He used to work out on the fuel hour. And he had a heart attack, man. That dude was young. Me and him started at the same time.
Well, isn't right? So Pat, for the demographic that for the demographic for that we're in from 18 to 45, right? It's it's suicide, but pretty much beyond that, it's heart disease.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Like I said, like I always drink sodas and shit, man. Like I didn't, and when I was younger, it was easy for me to just do that, bro. But once I hit around 26, 27, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I realized I gained some weight, and then 29, 30, and then 31, and I was like, nah, I got to turn this thing around, man.
What you do is you buy one of those like 1990 Miatas, man. Put it in neutral and just pull it.
You laugh, but that was part of my training when I was younger. But it wasn't a Miata; it was a Triumph Spitfire.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
I was that's I would. It's not a safe thing. I don't recommend actually that people do it. It's not safe, but I would push it up the hill and then backwards walk it down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's what's up, man. I got to do something like that. You said the battle ropes.
Battle ropes. Let me show you real quick because some people may be watching, may not even understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, man. I started getting short-winded. I was like, man, hell no, man. This ain't me, man. This ain't even me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got, I got a whole bunch of fly shit in my closet I can't wear. It's just like, I just sit back like, man, come on, man. What happened?
Just donate it to Big Brothers Big Sisters, man.
You tell you that's what I did. That's what I did. I know what he's talking about, and I know what you're talking about.
Not me, bro. I'm hanging on, bro. I'm going back.
Oh yeah.
I'm going back, man.
Man, you gotta keep in mind, Ty,
You know-
that thick beard of yours, man, that weigh like 5 pounds itself, man.
See, if I step out and then I have a 2X shirt on, it make everything all right again.
You turn back the clock, right? You turn back. If that happens, you turn back the clock. I'm back.
Hey, going shopping and just going through the rack of clothes and then finding the shirt you want, and then you'd be like, dang, I wonder if they got it in a 2X.
Mm-hmm. Ty City, you're pictured putting that on and stepping out the front door, and what Mark Manson starts playing, Return of the Mac. Hey,
yeah. like the weight, it's like the weight just went away or something, bro. You just put a bigger shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get it back together, man. No bullshit, bro. Like, I'm losing the weight, but now, you know what I'm saying, I want to get that endurance, you know what I'm saying, that strength back, man, that I had.
Yeah, man, that's solid, man, dude. I'm impressed by your weight loss, and I'm impressed by your mentality to say, yeah, okay, we did that. Now, well, what's next? And that's that's how we have to try to be as productive men. You're an inspiration to me, as well as to stick with what I'm doing to reach the level that you've reached, as well as me wanting to reach the level that Kels and Mike are on.
I ain't going as far as skills. I ain't going as far as skills, man.
My goal, my actual goal, my actual goal is before my 44th birthday, I want to be able to max out the Army PT test.
That's a big challenge, man.
Yeah,
it's a big challenge.
Coming from where I'm at right now, yeah. Yeah, and so I've got to start. I've got to start, and that means if that means me buying a whiteboard, putting it on the back of it, putting it on the back of my door, and writing my goals and putting marks off next to them, then that's it's a small price to pay.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to figure out these ways to maintain, keep myself motivated, stay away from the sugar, and to stay away from dropping myself out of ketosis, and staying away from stagnating when I could be actually doing things.
Yeah, I mean, around that 3rd month on keto, that's when like I was like, damn, you see yourself in the mirror, you be like, wow, wow, you know what I'm saying? And that around that time, that's when other people started telling me I'm losing weight.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people like to, you know, train with these sweat belts and stuff like that. I don't know how you know, how efficient those things are. I see people using them, but I can't always recommend things like that. I haven't tested.
Okay, so on the sweat belts, right? So I had somebody recommend that to me too because I carry a lot of weight around around my like my hips and my waist area, and they were saying that it's hard to lose that weight because it's not that much circulation going, and they said that belt actually helps with just the blood circulation.
Yeah, that might be true. I don't know all of the I can't, you know, I can't verify or disagree with it. You know,
Yeah,
I know some
I
guys.
haven't tested it out or tried it
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, I know some guys like to wear the Spanx, man, so they can kind of you know, hide that little pouch there. But yeah, you know, a lot of stuff can be done at home. I really think that guys should stop and trying to invest into just a gym itself and really bang out what they can at home.
Yeah, that's I want to go from home to the gym. Actually, that's how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
All right. So I got I bought some Nike cones.
What is that?
And, some cones.
Is that a sneaker?
No, cones, orange
I like
cones.
some cones that you put out. Like you can run drills with.
Oh man, I thought you was using that for like you know, autocross or something.
Nah. I mean, shit, hey, bro, 300 pounds is damn near like autocrossing.
It's like a Volkswagen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I haven't even done that yet. I was watching YouTube videos of some people doing some drills. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that shit got me inspired too, man.
Tip drills. You don't necessarily need to. You don't necessarily need the cones, man. You can go to a set of stairs, man. Do 30 flights. That's the equivalent of doing a few miles. I mean, it's literally. I got what do you call it? The
Well, or lunges, right?
what'd you say?
Or lunges, long lunges.
To an extent, but you won't get the cardio. You won't get the cardio at all of it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, bro. I gotta start slow, man. I gotta start slow and just start steadily build my way up to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have these, so I have a vest.
Yeah, what I find fascinating is, right, Ty, how long did it take you how long did it take you to top out, right? From where you recognized where you started slacking off to where you topped out at?
You mean like you talking about when I hit the bottom? What are you talking about?
It topped out in your weight, right? You like I got to start when you started keto.
Oh, when I topped out.
Yeah, so when you first started recognizing that, you know, but it's all right, I'll be all right. You know what I mean? You made that decision in your head, right? To do keto.
It was one of them things where it's like, I don't know, man. I got comfortable, and I got uncomfortable when I see myself in the mirror, bro. I was like, what the fuck, yo? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this reality that hits you. And you look when they hit you, like mentally, you're like, wow, I don't even like the way I look. You know what I'm saying? And that's me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, for me, it was like
reflection. That's like it hit me hard, bro. That's what I'm telling you. Like I went cold turkey and just went straight into dieting right away, bro.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. For me, it was like, for me, from going from fit to fat was like a 4-year journey.
Yeah, that's about what it was for me.
to, no, I mean, when to the point in which I said I got to do something about this and actually started doing something, it was 4 years.
Mhm.
But just I mean, just think about that. The magnificence of the human machine, right? The human machinery, the engineering. And I'm not a religious person or anything. I'm just saying, looking at it, at the organism that it is, that 4 years of abuse and neglect, and 6 months to a year you can get back, right?
Right, yeah, and part of it, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, I started making money, and then I started eating out a whole lot, bro. I just started pigging out, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's easy. Yeah, it's real easy when you don't feel like doing dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like some bullshit, but it's the truth, bro. Like, I start ordering food and just eating out all the goddamn time, man.
Yeah, that's not gonna help you, man. You gotta be disciplined, man. We gotta bring you back to the plantation and so you can find a so you can find a
Where
whip.
all the food at? Where all the
Yeah, but I have one of these. I have this exact one, man, and I can't recommend it enough. It's a pain in the balls to clean, but it's one of those things that it comes with the territory, man. I just make one big gallon of juice and then I clean it. So, but I cut it too. So I cut it with water.
do you meal prep with the drink?
Yep. Yep.
So this is what we would be doing after we would get off of keto.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Next year I'm gonna have to get into seeing how I can do it, because I don't want it to be like because even right now, man, if I just eat like a handful of grapes, you know what I'm saying, it's spiking my sugar.
Hey, but it's clean though.
Yeah, I do want to get back, because I think right now I'm just reduced to pretty much greens and concentrated greens. That's I think that outside of just beef is where I'm getting most of my nutrients from.
Are you allergic to fish, seafood?
No, I'm not. I'm not allergic. Actually, I eat a lot of shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
I eat a lot of shrimp.
Yeah,
Even that's kicking up the protein. You know what I'm saying?
To an extent, it does. But you got to switch it up too, man. Like I said before, maybe Cocaine Kells might disagree with me because I know she has her own view on this. I never eat the same thing twice, right? So if I'm Sunday, if I had salmon, then that Monday I might have chicken, and if I go from chicken from Monday, then by Tuesday I'm gonna have tuna or something like that, and then so on and so forth. And then Wednesday I might have Angus. So I'm never really, I'm always changing up the diet, but the protein levels are always around the same.
Okay. Yeah. See, when I meal prep, I'll do eggs and sausage and something, and that'll be like for the morning. And then I have like some hamburger patties with some melted cheese and green beans for lunch.
Fam, that's really heavy, man. I'm just being honest with you. That's a heavy breakfast. I personally don't think you should have a heavy breakfast like that. My thing is, I think.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I want to bypass breakfast. And when you said I got to start liquefying, I think you know what I'm saying, to lighten the load. But see, I got to keep my fat. I got to keep the fat levels high.
Yeah, because with keto, you have to, like, the bare minimum that you can that you can do with keto is 75% of the calories coming from fat.
I mean, I do it like I have a steak too, but I do want to lighten the load up a little bit. You know, I do want to lighten the load up.
And trust me, you do not want to do a shot of olive oil. No, Don't do that.
No. I do. I've been. That's what I'm saying. I've been taking MCT oil to keep the fats up.
Yeah, if that MCT oil does what that shot of olive oil did to me, no.
No. The MCT oil is about 10 times worse.
Ooh.
So I'll take I can only do a teaspoon, and even that's like pushing it, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, man.
And that has to come behind like steak. You know what I'm saying? Like if I eat steak in a salad, like I have to eat heavy. Like you know what I'm saying? It ain't no way I'm gonna have come off of a fast and then take some MCT or something like that. That'd be ridiculous.
Mhm.
If you're trying to make weight, that's the way to do it.
Nah, you gonna feel it.
Because nothing's gonna be left in there. Nothing.
Yeah, you're gonna get cleaned up. But I mean, for me, right, I just started taking out a lot of the cheese, you know what I'm saying? Because I think the cheese was making me irregular. So
Right.
once I took that out, I became a little more regular. So now I'm not as heavy on the MCT oil unless I didn't meet the fat goals that I was trying to meet.
Oh, that was another thing I was going to mention too. That I like to do. Cheap cuts of meat. Cheap cuts of meat. A cheap cut about 5 pounds of cheap cuts of meat in a slow cooker. Set it in the morning. Set it in the morning. I mean, you're not supposed to leave appliances on like that while you're not home. But I've
Well,
No, it's all
you
good,
plug that
man.
into a smart outlet and connect it to your phone and kind of turn it on and off remotely. But
but having to sit there, having to sit there and do what it does for 6 hours or so,
Yeah.
right around 6 hours or so, right? And that was another good means for me to be able to help maintain a variety of foods, is because
I'm more
and
of
meal
a
prep. Yeah.
I'm more of a griller though. Like I'll put some steaks on the grill, some maybe some sausage links, and some, you know what I'm saying, some chicken or something like that, and then I'll rock out like that.
yeah, see, you gotta measure your caloric intake, Todd City, because it sounds like you're pulling in at least 3,000 calories, just off of what you just mentioned. That's a considerable amount if you're trying to cut, because you're in cutting phase. So I know you tried the OMAD before, 1 meal a day, but I don't know how that makes you feel. Different times of the year. I know some people, like in the summertime, if they do that OMAD, they might get dizzy spells and stuff like that because they feel like they're fatigued.
Yeah, I do, like that's what I'm saying. Next year I want to try some different things, because I know if I cut my calories, I know I'm gonna cut a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I got to do some more research on how to transition out of being on like a ketogenic diet, you know what I'm saying, to a more high protein, like a more of a dense diet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I do want to start blending up some, you know what I'm saying, some fruits and vegetables and stuff. But I don't want it to. I don't know. I'm used to not spiking my blood sugar and stuff like that right now.
I mean, go down to the farmer's market, man, on the weekend, man. $10 get you two big bags of groceries, fruits and vegetables, man. Bring that back and just immediately go to work on that through the blender and the juicer, and that's how you prep out for the week. By the time you need to refill again, man, it's gonna be like better.
Yeah. So hey, I seen that you was putting oatmeal in the shake.
If you're bulking, that's for people who are bulking. That's a substitute for like mass gainer. That would be a form of mass gaining, right? Raw oatmeal or steel cut oats inside of a smoothie. That's for people trying to bulk up.
They're slow to digest too, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What protein you using?
Because I was training, I used Transparent Labs.
Okay, Transparent Labs.
Yeah. Transparent Labs. I tried everything else. I don't recommend people even get into supplements unless they're training hard.
Okay.
I recommend people stay away from it, but that's why, I recommend like a blender with the fruits and vegetables, the kale, the spinach, the avocado, uh, banana, pineapple, or another fruit like a mango or something like that, some peanuts, or an assorted array of nuts. Nuts have really rich in protein. And, and maybe even throw in one scoop of like protein isolate. But that's for people who are really training hard. Your body won't be able to absorb that supplement unless you're actually training it to pushing it to the point where it's desiring all that it can benefit from it. But I use this if this is what you're asking me. So I started using that in September. But I've always used it, but when I train, that's what I use.
And you don't use a pre-workout, right?
I do. So I have I have bulk. So this is what I use. Right now I have big sour grape. Yep, I'm using sour grape. So
That's true. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get it together next year, man, because I really didn't expect to lose this much weight this fast, and like I said, I did that just based on the diet. I haven't even really tried to do any kind of cardio or nothing.
what's crazy is that you drive an F-150 King Ranch because you said you want to live like a king. So
yeah, man. I want to cut my caloric intake too, man.
Mhm.
I do, but I just want to be smart about it because what I'm doing now works for losing fat. But now I got to do something to gain muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Well, the good thing is that's pretty simple. You break it down and you break it down and you recover, right?
Yeah.
And you feed it, you break it down and you recover. That's it's been basically pretty simple for the last 100 years of research on that one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
All right, let me shut this down, man, because we've been going for 3 hours and I didn't mean to go this long. But
Hey, man, appreciate it, bro.
yeah, absolutely. Anytime, man. We're gonna keep updating this type of stuff. Thank you to Cocaine Kellis for coming through with her knowledge as usual.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very beneficial to a lot of these guys on here. So shalom.